Hello viewers and welcome to round 3 of the MSR V10 Gen 2 League, and as always I'm joined here by WMDR Martin.
Greetings.
Yeah, definitely a more open track than last time of course being Monaco, and the real question that has been bothering me over this entire week is, are we going to have any safety cars this race? Because I know we had 4 last race, but are we going to see any tonight, do you think?
I mean, with the amount of chicanes that this track has, I wouldn't say it's an impossibility.
Yeah, quite a...
Because especially if the whole grid's bunched up at the start and you're going through 3, 4, 5 chicanes, 2 cars collide, and if there's anyone right behind that, it may well be quite difficult to dodge.
Yeah, quite right, especially this last chicane here that we're seeing Roman come up to now, the right next to the wall of champions as well, so whether we're going to see anyone become a quote-unquote champion and whack it into the wall. I mean, to
be fair though, that is one of the chicanes that has the most runoff, so I think if anything happens there, people should be able to avoid it.
Yeah, of course, yeah, a lot of runoff inside, just like Formula 1, they can take the exit. Roman as well, just taking provisional pole. RuneLink less than a 10th behind in P2, so we're definitely going to be seeing these two match up again. Hopefully Roman can bring it to the front like he did last week, but hopefully get a better start, as well as hoping that Mats doesn't disconnect like last week, because he was definitely one of the people who were fighting RuneLink. I do think RuneLink right now are championship leader.
And it's not surprising either. I mean, if you look at these margins that he's driving at, his first sector he's improved by 2 milliseconds, which just shows how consistent he is. He's already gained 3 more tenths in this one, which would be good enough for provisional pole if he can bring it home, and I'm not sure who that is in front of him, but that may well give him quite a bit of slipstream on the final straight.
Yeah. Coming down the main straight, it looks to be a blue car. Could have been Tomahawks, could have been... I'll have to check, but yeah, RuneLink coming through that last chicane. Ooh, he got extremely close to the wall. Does he improve? Yes, by 2.
He does. He did lose a 10th in that final sector though, so I'm not entirely sure where he lost that. That might have been in rotation for the hairpin, which is always a bit of a tricky corner. But yeah, he's currently set it to provisional pole, a good half a second in front of, well, almost half a second in front of P3, 4, and 5, who are all very, very close to each other. Tomahawk's only 6 milliseconds behind K's in P3.
Yeah, Tomahawks as well, just staying to the left-hand side, letting all these drivers who are on hot laps pass by. There's almost like a little train here of cars going for their quali laps, whether that will affect them all. Tomahawk's going extremely wide into the wall. That's not going to be...
Unfortunately, not the wall of champions.
Yeah, that is definitely going to punish his lap time. Kays as well has moved up to P3. Tomahawks is definitely going to be wanting to gain that. Well, he's going to be wanting to gain about a couple milliseconds, and he should be in front of Kays. They're coming in.
Man, there are a lot of people here that have. Ooh, as I'm not quite sure how he avoided the barrier there after how he took that curb. That was incredible.
Yeah, properly riding the curb all the way. Oh, and he takes P3 away from Kays.
I guess the wall wasn't that punishing after all.
Yeah, something I'm going to quickly do, because I've just remembered, is set up a prediction for, is there going to be a safety car?
Ooh, that was a spicy one last time.
Yeah, last time someone actually voted no, so whether we're gonna have more votes for no this time, considering the track, I have to know. Yeah, going. So yeah, going for that last chicane, I've noticed some people taking a lot more risk and some people taking less. Roman improving, but not by enough. He's still got to gain 1/10 on a lap, so whether he can do that in these last 9 minutes, I do wonder, as he pulls to the right hand side to let the faster cars go by.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like we're set up for an interesting race here tonight. We've got very, very tight margins here. Only a 10th currently separating provisional pole. Then 2 people that are 4/10ths behind. 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are 8/10ths behind, and one of them is even only 2 milliseconds apart from each other. Then 1, 2 people also just 1.2 behind. It's just everyone is very, very close. There's almost no one that's lonely in this grid order.
Yeah, quite right. I mean, the top 12 separated in less by a second. That is remarkable. And around this track, you're going to want to gain every 10th. Runelink setting another fastest lap. He's now 2 and a bit more tenths in front of Roman. So Roman's definitely going to have to try push even harder now on his next hot lap.
Yeah, Roman's not just going to need any ordinary good lap. He's going to need a perfect lap to be able to topple that one, because that is, in the grand scheme of things, it might not be a whole lot, but when you're at the limit, 2.5 tenths is quite a bit to recover.
Looking at...
As I mentioned as well, like, the thing is, even just having people be so close to each other when it comes to lap times is already very good, as oh, he does a George Russell there and slaps the wall with that right rear wheel. But yeah, the other thing that's really going to contribute to this race is how many overtaking opportunities there are, because some of these chicanes may not be the best for wheel-to-wheel racing, but definitely I'd say the hairpin and the chicane coming into the final corner are some very, very good overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, quite right. I've also just checked the points, and I have to correct myself as... Oh, sorry, just Trouble's gone wide a bit there. That's not going to help his lap time whatsoever. But
yeah, Trouble's going to need to correct that line as well.
But... Oh, perfect timing. Ultimate K is coming P2. Those two are actually... I said that Runelink earlier was actually the championship leader, but it's actually Ultimate K's and Runelink joint first right now for that championship lead. So this race could very much determine who is leading going into round 4.
I'd be very surprised if they came out of this round on equal points again.
Yeah, now we're going to have someone who's listening to us who's now going to purposely take them out. I'm kidding.
As we do have someone taking out a few blades of grass, but I think that's someone who's just gone back to the pits.
Yeah, hopefully not doing a Valtteri Bottas and starting a mowing company. But,
I mean, truth be told, these F1 cars do seem to cut grass pretty well.
Yeah. These ones maybe a bit more higher fuel consumption, but definitely do a good job.
Well, let's just try and take a look. We've actually got 2 people who have set absolutely identical times. That is Eddie in P7 and Package in P6. Package doing a really good job so far, deep into the top 10, which is great to see. But considering that he probably set that lap first, he is P6 over Eddie, even though he has the same time.
Yeah, quite. I do wonder, is any of them gonna get is any of them going to be able to get that ever so slight extra bit of pace. It looks like Wild Package may be lifting off his lap, trying to get a gap between the guys in front of him so he can maybe get some more clean air rather than be potentially stuck in dirty air.
I actually wanted to point this out as well. Ticklish has reverted back to his old name, so it's no longer just Ticklish. We are back to the full Ticklish Pickle Wickle.
Yay!
As Runeling sets another PB, and that's gonna do wonders for the morale of the competition, I'm sure.
Yeah, 12:38. That is just insane. Well, 12:33, but 12:33.8, more like it.
We've now only got 5 drivers who are pretty much within a second of the lead right now. So I mean, you got Package and Eddie, but they're only 1/10 shy of being a whole second down.
I mean, you got Fennec, Findict, and Daylau as well, which are just barely out that second mark as well. So almost the entire top 10 separated by a second. So I mean, even Eisenshank, almost the entire grid is. Well, I can only see the top 15, but almost the entire top 15 only separated by 1 second and a tenth.
Don't
basically.
Forget you can scroll down.
Of course, I mean I knew that. Yeah, something I am interested in. I don't know if this is a glitch for me, but still waiting for Ticklish to
that is really funky. I see what's happening on your screen. I've never had that before.
Well, where I can blacklist people. They never existed. P13? Puh, what? No, but that sadly I think that is a common broadcaster glitch. I have no idea how to get rid of it. If there is anyone who knows how to, just let me know.
Tom Bach setting another lap, but he is quite a bit off of his PB, so I'm not sure if he's just trying to get the tires ready or what, but he's still stuck in P5. Realistically, he can definitely get P4, probably even P3 if Roman doesn't improve any as he goes through the final chicane, but he's let go of that lap and is back in the pits.
Yeah, that's a shame. He needs to gain 3 tenths if he wants to be on pole, a 10th if he wants to even be on the front row.
As we have Ghost Jordan driving by now, looking at Asa Shinkira down in P17, slamming into the wall of champions. We'll see if that improves his lap time at all.
It does.
And it actually does. He is up to P16 now after it was actually briefly bumped down to P18.
Yeah, very, yeah, you don't want to be hitting that in the race, I'll say that, because that will definitely create some damage in these cars. Not the strongest, definitely compared to last season's BMW. Not the strongest, I would say.
We do have some more people who seem to be dialing in the car just that little bit more now. We've got more people within a second of the provisional pole time. That it's Cuckoo and Trouble, both 8 tenths down, and ahead of Package and Eddie.
I mean, as the track, as the session goes on and on, the track is going to get more rubbered in, there's going to be more grip, and people are going to start feeling more confident as well. I wonder though, can Cuckoo do anything to improve? They were 3 tenths up.
Ooh, they've set the exact same time as Tom Boggs.
Oh yeah, that must be kicking them.
Oh, absolutely, because Cuckoo was up by, I think, a good 3 tenths in the middle sector, and then it was only 2 by the end of it, and somehow down to the millisecond, an identical time, and we currently have 2 pairs of drivers with identical lap times, and Findict only 3 milliseconds behind Xevious. We also have Shad 2 milliseconds behind Eisenshank. It's incredibly close margins, and I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, I mean, with these, how quick some of these drivers are in this league, literally they're going to be trying to grab every single second. I know some of them spend quite a bit of time practicing, trying to get every single second out, whether it's in time trial or just free practice in this game. A lot of drivers now.
I wonder if Roman's going to be able to get another lap in, because he's currently about 1/10 down on his PB. It's probably not going to be enough to improve to P2 for now, but if he can get to the line on time, he will be able to set another lap as he almost hits the wall of champions.
I think he's going to make it. I think anyone behind him though. Maybe that one other car behind him. These are going to be the final laps of the race. So is anyone actually going to be able to beat Runelink? Can this
qualifying.
For qualifying, is anyone actually going to be able to beat Runelink from getting that pole? I mean, Ultimate K is still on lap, Roman GR still on lap, Mats VR just pitted, as well as Tomahawks. So currently P2 and 3, I think, are the only people who could properly fight for that P1 position. We're watching Roman. Can he improve? Is he up on his time at all? He's leaving the second. Well, he's about to leave the second sector. Is he going to be up or down on his time?
Oh, he's down.
He's got to.
Oh.
He's got to.
I think he's locked up as well.
Yeah, he's got to make somehow a miracle of this last sector if he wants to do anything. So coming down this back straight, is he gonna?
Axis up ahead, the only other car on track as well. He's currently in P19.
He's gonna need to full send it. I don't think he sent it enough for him to improve unless he's been holding back and sandbagging through that chicane. But it was.
I don't quite think he improved there, and I don't think Exus did either. Yeah, he's still P3, and Exus still down in. Wait, that's interesting. He was P19 when the session finished, and now he's P21. Did he have some sort of grid penalty?
Doesn't look like it. Looks like Ticklish maybe might be a bit glitched because I can't see him have a time, but he's somehow P20. But yeah, it's Runelink who took pole over 112.3. Ultimate K is 3 tenths behind him. No, about two 3 tenths behind him. Roman GR literally right behind Ultimate K's as well, and Mats and Tomahawks in P4 and 5. It's Cuckoo who's going to be P6, Fennec in P7, Trouble P8, Wild Package in P9, and Eddie to round off the top 10 in, and of course 10th position. Exevius in 11th, Findict in 12th, Daylout in 13th, Eisenshank in 14th, Shad in 15th, Binding in 16th, Michael in 17th, Ashakira in 18th, Sunisek in 19th, and Ticklish Pickle Wickle. That's never not going to be fun not to say. Exus in P21 and Shadow Drake in P22, and of course Ant Carlos in P23. Why have you made me
giving you a hydrate there because I think you might be very dry after that one.
Oh no, where have I put my drink? I filled it up. Oh no, is it downstairs? Oh no. Do I have time? I'm gonna make a run for it.
One thing you could do is just jump around in place and then drink your own sweat. Yeah, it looks like the grid is currently still waiting for everyone to hit ready up, so it's just everyone making sure they have their setups all right. Everyone making sure they have their pit stop strategies all right, because sometimes if you try and adjust it in the session, the game won't listen to you, so that's always better to play it safe and set it right beforehand.
I made it back.
Welcome back. Our grid full of drivers here is probably still setting their setups. As actually the session is about to get underway.
So it's 3 red lights and we're ready to go. It's go, go, go. And Runelink getting a really good start. Ultimate K's not getting the best of start. No, but Roman GR even further behind, dropping down to P4. Are we going to have a safe going all the way through these corners? It looks like people going 2 wide everywhere. Maybe 3 wide in the background. One car going off.
Some people skipping that chicane.
Looks to be Eddie going off, but it's all safe. Clean racing. Oh!
You just had to jinx it, didn't you?
That looks to be Daylout in the wall. That is going to be definitely have some damage.
Well, we have... Oh, it's very, very glitched, I think, unless... no, we do have some people that are very far behind. We have Ticklish alongside... Well, it says he's 1 minute and 27 behind. There's definitely been some kind of glitch going on.
Yeah, I mean, in qualifying, I definitely think Ticklish was glitched as well, since it wasn't properly showing his time. So Ticklish is going to be very much suffering when it comes to us trying to keep track of him.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We do have, if you look at the minimap, one driver who is extremely far behind. I think that's I honestly have no idea who that is. I'm not sure. It's Carlos. Carlos has had a tremendously bad start as car looks fine, although he's... Wait, no, his rear wing is
his rear
dangling
wing
off.
That is not, yeah, that is not very good to see on the back of a car, but it looks like lap 1 has gone by and everyone has... I was gonna say has for the most clean racing. Stop spinning when I'm
thinking these things.
But yeah, no major crashes, no safety cars yet. So
as people making mincemeat out of that chicane once again on lap 2.
Yeah, very much as we said earlier, creating a mowing company for that first chicane.
I think eventually there's just going to be like a new line that forms and it's going to be like a dirt path going through the grass. But currently a nice little battle going on between Exus and Shad for P17. It looks like Exus coming out on top there, but he does miss the following chicane, so that could give the position back to Shad.
Yeah, Shad's definitely got the momentum, but Exus has got the inside going into the hairpin. Can Shad keep it all the way around the outside? His car is without a doubt there. But it doesn't. No, Shad gets the momentum out the corner, and is that going to be a move complete? Yes, it is.
But X is still having that slipstream, and they're going on a very, very long straight now, down to a hard braking zone. We'll see who can break the latest. He's got the outside line, usually not ideal, but wow, Shad just takes a face full of curb and gives up the position.
As Exus back into P18.
Now I'll check on the top 3 again. Ruinling still leading this race, followed by Ultimate, Keza, Mats, and Roman. Roman, indeed, as you said earlier, not having the best of starts, and he's getting chased down by Cuckoo.
Cuckoo starting P6, getting the same exact time as Tomahawks, I believe, which they have left behind them, who's about a second and a half behind. Ooh, Cuckoo definitely giving the pressure to Roman without a doubt. Whether they can make the move, though, is all to be seen. Are they going to look for a lunge up into this next corner? Ooh!
Roman's locked up, which gives Cuckoo an opportunity on the exit, but I think they touched, which may have compromised that exit.
Yeah, I think Roman parking it on the apex a bit there, just not allowing Cuckoo to get enough room to just properly make a move. Going into this very dangerous chicane. Ooh,
Roman not getting the best of exits there either.
Yeah, getting very squiggly on exit. Is Cuckoo going to be able to do anything on this lap?
As ahead of us, we still have the fight going on for P2 as well. Matt's not backing off from Keza one bit within a second there. These cars, of course, not having DRS, despite that one car earlier having a very, very flappy wing that was not DRS. That is simply a very sad rear wing.
Yeah. Hopefully they have hitted now, and hopefully we'll be back. They're going to be wishing for a safety car. Trouble, though,
absolutely
on the back of Eisenshank. He's got the slipstream. He's gaining and gaining. No move into this corner. Oh, going a bit wide. That's going to compromise his exit.
Yeah, it looks like he's still very, very comfortable within that slipstream, though. It's mistakes don't seem to be punished too much around here, as long as they're not too severe. Quickly going to check up on these two once again. Matt's still in that slipstream, but nothing doing yet. We'll just look at their exit here coming out of the final chicane. Ooh, Matt's giving them all a little kiss there.
That's going to be very much... Roman and Cuckoo are going to be smiling if Matt makes any more mistakes. You're just waiting behind, but that dirty air is very much going to be compromising them through the entire first and second part of the lap.
Oh, as I think Trumbull might have had another attempt there, but possibly getting some grass on his tire, so he's going to have to be careful with that. He dips another wheel in the grass. And another. It's grass bingo tonight.
Yeah, quite right. And I think, I don't know if I'm saying this for other people, but I'm seeing a lot of people, it seems, lagging. Oh no.
The lag seems alright on my end.
I think I'm definitely going to be buffering then. Yeah, oh god, people are going everywhere for me. But hopefully that calms down. I'm going to quickly check.
Oh, we actually do have a ghosted car on track. I believe that is... Wait.
I thought it was
is that a lapped car? That must be a lapped car. Well, Ticklish is also ghosted, but I believe the other ghosted car is Fennec, who is down in P22, so he must have had a horrendous first lap if he's down that far. I mean, the game says he's 6.5 minutes down on the lead. That's probably not quite true, but whatever's the case, I'm sure the stewards are going to take a look at it.
On my sheet, it says he's currently P8, so...
Oh, wonderful.
Luckily, working for some of us, really suffering. I might have to check something, because last time this happened, it wasn't the best of looking racing, but trying to enjoy it for now. If it gets seriously bad, I'm definitely going to see if I can restart quickly. Oh!
Yeah, by the way, if any of the affected drivers that are at the back of the grid for me are in a battle for you, definitely let me know so I can switch the camera to them, because I have no idea where those guys are.
Will do. But hopefully, I did see 2 people just go into a wall going through the second chicane, so hopefully that wasn't true.
I don't think it was, but Exus and Shad still fighting here. These two are inseparable, despite a lot of cars behind them. I'm not sure if they're all on the same lap, but here we have Shad going around the outside of the hairpin, very deep.
We've seen this move
but he's got a lot of exit speed.
Coming down into the last corner, he's slipped back into a slipstream. He's pulled to the left.
Out of it already.
Going to be stuck on the outside. Exus is going to be needing to defend that corner. Oh!
What kind of a move was that? Also, Shakira just throws it in there.
And phasing through the camera as well. But yeah, that is very much going to be a controversial move there.
Oh, it's disastrous for Shad as well. He's lost multiple positions due to that ambitious move
and that's
by Asa Shakira.
That's a car in the wall.
Is it?
Yeah. In the first sector, there was a stopped car in the wall in the first sector on the map.
Let me see if I can find who that is. Do you have any idea what? Oh, that is Exus. So
No,
I don't know what's happened. Did you see what happened to him?
No, I mean, we were watching Shad after he'd been pushed wide, and then I remember seeing his car facing the wrong way going through the second part of corner 1.
Well, that is very unfortunate. We have one driver shoved out of the way, and the other has some unknown thing happen to him that seems to have a much worse impact on his race. So unfortunately, that nice battle's been cut short. But in the meantime, Cuckoo getting ever closer to Roman GR for P4, and Mats is dropping off away from K's.
Yeah, this battle for P4 is all of a sudden going to turn into a battle for P3 if Cook and Roman just work together to try and gain on Matt. We're going through this first part of the sector. I do wonder, has any of them maybe tuned their setup for maybe it to be better in the first sector or the last sector? Because these two sectors definitely very different, I would say. One more straight line speed and one a lot more technical. I mean, I was speaking with one of the drivers and they were saying that they were very much had full downforce except for maybe a couple clicks down on the downforce. And I thought, what? Around this circuit with this long of a straight? And like this, yeah, as much as this isn't as high, as technical as Monaco, it's got such faster corners to the point where you still need that downforce if you want to be fast.
Absolutely, and I'm wondering as well if some of these pace differentials have to do with tire choice, because sometimes we do see people on the hard tires struggle a bit, but of course you can go deeper into the race on that set of tires, and Cuckoo seemingly having a lot of grip in the corners, but just never really getting a good exit out of the hairpin.
Yeah,
Mats as well in front, just locking up continually, which is bringing the pack closer together, but K's seems to be slowing down a little too.
We remember
his previous lap was a 14.5, and that's slower than all three of the drivers behind him.
Ooh, I do wonder. Runelink is definitely setting some fast times. He's already dropped K's by 4 seconds as well, and the small pack behind by 5. It's going to be Roman GR and Matt's going side by side into the hairpin. Who's going to come out on top?
Oh, Matt's not going for a switchback. He's trying to hold around the outside, but it's a very compromised line. He's going to have slipstream now. Not sure if his exit's going to be good enough, though. He's really close to Roman. Is he going to go inside, outside? He's looking. He's going on the outside.
Yeah, Roman moving to the right-hand side, guarding that inside corner. You've also got Cuckoo in the background. And I think that's Roman passing. Oh, but Cuckoo's got a good exit as well. Going now into the inside of Matt. But that's going to turn to the outside of this, of corner 2. Can they hold it all the way around the outside? They're looking for an undercut as well. Oh, but Matt just chops in front of them and is able to hold that.
Oh, I think he's missed the corner. Where's Matt's?
Oh, no!
Yeah, he's horrendously missed that corner. He's lost the position to Cuckoo and is now falling into the clutches of the guys behind as well because of all that battling. Tomahawks and Package are ready to pounce.
In about a lap, and in just about a lap, Matt has gone down from P3 podium position to P5. That is unfortunate lap 10 for him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had a good chance of getting Roman down into the chicane, but playing it safe, they're being late on the brakes. Early on the brakes, sorry, and then just not quite getting the best exit out of that final chicane. Getting, as that? No, never mind. Anyway, just really getting pounced by, I believe that was Cuckoo for P4 as well, and then missing his corner completely, putting him into the clutches, effectively extending this fight, because this is now a train of cars from P4 all the way down to P7, which we love to see, of course, but I'm quickly going to look down the grid at who else may be close together. I believe Trouble, Eisenschenk, and Findick are also battling it out around here.
Yeah, looks like the battle for P. Oh, Findick's had a big mistake, and he's going to be dropping out of that battle.
Hopefully not for long, as let's just quickly check their previous laps. It seems Trouble is set a 116, Eisenschenk behind a 114, so Trouble seemingly not having the pace to pull away, so this fight will likely go on for quite a bit longer.
Yeah, quite right, and looking forward to the overtakes. And Trouble keep that Minardi in front of the McLaren, or can Eddie pass Xavius in the Jordan?
Yeah, the Ferrari looking very, very eager to get past the bright yellow Jordan. They go into the chicane now, both take it quite nicely, pretty much identical lines, and Eddie getting fairly decent traction as well, so we'll see if the slipstream is able to do anything for him. He doesn't seem to be taking maximum use of it. He's not really gaining that much up until the end of the straight, and he's deciding to not go for any kind of a move. That's a pretty safe line, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, this early in a race as well, I don't think you want to be risking too much of your car. I think you very much just want to be looking for moves, or potentially going for the bigger moves towards the end, as I just missed a move on.
Yeah, that was my bad.
I think Eisenschenk actually no, still behind though, so it's didn't miss anything.
I just noticed they were getting very, very close here with the fight between Mats and Tomahawks. But yeah, they were going side by side into turn 1 there. No overtake for Eisenschenk quite yet, but I think you might not have to. Okay, no, never mind. The timing was glitched out there. I said they were side by side for me.
Definitely some weird timings going on this evening, but the battles are still raging on. This freeway battle for 5th position. It's once again Matt who's leading the battle. Can Tomahawks or Wild Package look for any move past him or try gain? What I've also noticed is Cuckoo and Roman have massively got away, especially Roman, who's just absolutely left that train of cars.
Yeah, Roman's going to be gaining on Ultimate Keza soon enough. I mean, his previous lap time might have been a bit slower, but that gap is not very big at all. So even the slightest mistake from Keza will put him into the clutches of P3. I think we have some movement going on at the back of the grid as well. It's Ticklish ahead of Fennec now, although they seem very far apart.
Yeah.
It must be another glitch.
Yeah, another Fennec and Ticklish, yeah, definitely. On your side, at least, extremely glitched.
As we go back to the fight for P5.
Things look to have relaxed a bit. I say that as they go a bit wide going through that corner. But, yeah, going into the hairpin, people are going to be slipstreaming each other.
Oh, that's Tomahawks with a horrendous exit.
That's going to leave him compromised. The Wild Package is going to get all that slipstream. Is Tomahawks going to move to the right-hand side to defend? He is. Wild Package is going to be stuck on the outside line. Can he make the move around the outside? It's going to be a hard one to make.
He's going to try it.
Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, that is,
yeah, he just wasn't given any space by Tomahawks there. It's a one-car corner. You just if you're gonna take it side by side, you're gonna have to give a lot of space. And Tomahawks is like, no, I'm on the inside. I will take that line, and that has made sure that no overtake took place. But there may well be one in the second quarter. No, it gets cut off again.
Yeah, Wild Pack is just providing that absolute pressure to Tomahawks, and I do hopefully want to see a move from that Sauber in the next coming laps.
Absolutely. It seems like he's got plenty of pace in the tank, and Tomahawk's getting very twitchy with that car, which allows Mats to pull away for now. Seems for P3, Roman's gained only 1/10 on Kaysa, so their pace may well be more equal than we first thought. I'm going to quickly check down. Eddie has actually gotten past Xevious, so he will probably be nearing that fight if Package and Tomahawks continue to fight as hard as they have been.
Then we might have a Ferrari sandwich, as it were. What's that?
Ooh, taking a lot of curb on both occasions there. It seems like, I mean, I don't know. Is taking the curb there faster, or do you just try and thread it in between the two?
I would say it would be faster, but I would expect it to be a lot more risky, especially since you don't want to be playing too much with track limits, just in case it gives you a penalty, and then you could end up somehow getting a drive-through penalty, which, of course, as most people know who watch racing, is not a good thing.
Absolutely. I just want to mention as well, the pace in the top 8 is very, very equal. I mean, we've got Runeling setting 14.4s, Kaysa setting the same thing, Roman actually setting a 14 flat, so he's catching Kaysa by quite a bit now. Cuckoo setting 14.2 is also faster than the lead. Matt's 14.1, same thing there. Tomahawks, Package, and Eddie also all setting 14s, so it seems like the leaders probably just got a lot of pace when the tires are fresh, and once the tires start to wear a bit, the pace kind of flattens, evens out a bit.
Yeah, quite right. I mean, on top of that, some people could be running different strategies.
Hold on, something's going on at the final chicane. There's someone right in front of Roman. Who is that?
That looks to be
it's ruined. That's Tomahawks, who's been impeded there, and that's cost him P6.
That is extremely unfortunate, but he's going to try and make it around the outside. Oh, no, no way he's going to do that. But he's got the inside, but I think Wild Package has the outside line and is going to be able to take massive advantage from that back marker.
That was a brave lunge around the outside from Tomahawks there, but unfortunately for him, nothing quite doing yet. He can, I mean, they seem to be in a bit of no man's land right now. They're a decent amount of seconds behind Mats. Eddie is also a little bit behind, so he's got time to fight and try to get that position back if he's got the pace right, as they both seem to ignore that curb there.
Something I do also want to mention now is if people are on soft tires now, they're going to be very much worn to pieces, I'd expect by now, and the people with on the hard compounded tire are very much going to be thriving. Unfortunately, we can't see what tire compound people are on, but we're going to start to see some battles forming very quickly as we're watching Vindic, Trouble, and Eisenshank battle for P11.
Yeah, Eisenshank still behind Trouble, so he's been able to hold his own for now. That was Eisenshank's teammate Exus who was caught impeding Tomahawks there for P7. But those guys still very close as well. Exus coming into the pits now, so he may have been that slow because of some form of damage to his car. We'll quickly check up on these two as Tomahawks...
Oh! That's a big mistake, and that's a big crash into the wall.
And he's out. He's left the session. I wonder if he had some sort of engine damage after that.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been anything. Maybe even a tire. Looked to potentially even be a wheel or pedal disconnect. Hopefully, it is.
Looks like we actually. Looks like Roman. Oh, that's another person reversing into the barrier. Is that Asashinkira? It is.
It is Asashinkira. That's very much a disappeared rear wing. Luckily, in the last part of the sector. Oh no!
Ooh, yeah, without that rear downforce, that car is very, very uncontrollable right now. But I'll tell you who else is. Well, actually, no, Roman is coming into the pits.
I just want to say, that could have ended even worse if Ashen Kira, of course, losing control of the car there, but holding his brakes just to make sure.
And he's still there on that back straight, just hugging the wall as much as he can.
Yeah, to be honest, he is doing a good job of keeping that car away from. Oh, that's an interesting way to enter the pit lane. I'll say that.
That's for sure. I mean, I've never seen a car crab quite that much, but entering the pit lane sideways, I hope he hasn't gotten a penalty for that.
Right, his car jittering quite a bit.
And actually, just want to point out as well, Roman has... Wait, did he just... Asa Shakira has retired from this race, so that's our third driver lost. I'm not sure who the second one was, but we are down to 20 people now. Roman's come out in P8, just ahead of this train of Fendick, Trouble, and Eisenschenk. So that's a very well-timed pit stop by Roman, and we'll just have to wait and see when Cuckoo comes into the pits, because they were actually gaining on Roman once again, as I believe they were about to lap... That has to be Trouble, right? No, who's in the other minority? That would be...
But Kays and Trouble are both in the minority since the sadly is away.
Yeah, that's her position. Yeah, so actually Cuckoo is really getting close to Kays now. Kays' lap times, I wouldn't say dropping off significantly. I'd say Cuckoo and Runelink especially have gotten very, very fast. They're setting 113s now.
Yeah, hopefully Kays won't make too many mistakes. Well, I say hopefully because that'll lead him right into the claws of Cuckoo and that green Jaguar behind.
Yeah, as I definitely wonder if these two are on separate tire strategies, because Kays' pace has been fairly consistent, but Cuckoo seems to be absolutely on fire right now, as Kay is a little deep into that corner, but nothing quite doing there for Cuckoo. They're still too far for any overtakes. Actually, who was that going side by side into the hairpin? I'm not sure who that was. Oh, it is the glitched pair of Fennec and someone else.
Yeah, Fennec and Eddie. Eddie looking for the move, trying to get it back, I believe, as Fennec is going to be holding that inside. Can he keep it? Can he keep... Oh my, and Eddie just spreading it past him. That was close racing. Absolutely,
and we have Cuckoo in the pits now, so that'll be very interesting to see where they come out compared to Roman, who's actually already in the final chicane. That has to be an advantage for Roman. Cuckoo just now coming out of the pits.
Their pit lane, though, is very close to the pit exit, so whether they can just straight line it, keep it in front, are they going to be able to overcut? They're going to be going almost side by side, I'd expect.
Oh, it's been very close, but Cuckoo basically coming out exactly where they left off, so this fight just got paused temporarily by that pit stop gap. They're right behind each other once again. Cuckoo coming out ahead of that train of Fendick, Trouble, and Eisenschenk, so they're also going to be quite happy about that. The undercut seems to be very, very equal right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider, though, that Cuckoo is very much on one lap. Better tires. So whether that extra piece of grip can just push Cuckoo to make that overtake on Roman GR. Oh, Roman GR making a little bit of a lock up. His rig getting a bit wild there, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure if one lap fresher tires is going to make that much of a difference, especially considering the importance of having the tires heated up properly, having the right pressures and stuff, as saw some marbles crossing the track there like they were insects.
Yeah, Eddie as well pitting in the Ferrari. He's going to be dropping places. Looks like to be a scheduled pit stop.
As he's about to come out now, we'll see what position that will be in. Binding here coming through the final chicane in P13. I think Eddie will be comfortably ahead of them.
Yeah, quite right, as Binding, you can just see that green Jaguar of Binding just behind Eddie, and Eddie is now going to be looking to potentially undercut anyone who hasn't now pitted in front of him.
As Carlos now comes in as well. Trouble seems to have driven away from Eisenschenk now. what happened to that group we had.
Yeah, it definitely looks as if it's spread out a bit more. Eisenschenk maybe dropping off the pace. We might see him pit later for potentially tyres. I think all the soft runners at least have boxed by now, unless anyone boxes this lap.
And just a quick check of the lap times as well. Seems like RuneLink's still the only person in the 113, so I am wondering if some of the people who were setting 113s earlier were on the softs back then and they switched to the hards now, which would of course be the slower tire.
Yeah, quite right, and especially since if we're going to be looking for a soft hard strategy, or maybe some other people going hard to soft, whether that might come into effect at the end and we might see some people trundling along on their hard tyres and some people go for overtakes and more aggressive at the end with the soft tyre.
Well, one person who isn't trundling along would be Binding, because they're very, very close to Eddie now. Seems like Eddie's not been able to make the most of those new tires just yet, as Binding hits the wall, potentially giving himself suspension damage.
Hopefully not. His car doesn't seem to be crabbing, and his steering wheel at least doesn't seem to be facing in a weird direction, so might have got lucky, but I wouldn't be surprised if you told me he got a bit of front wing damage.
But yeah, and especially around these very aero-dependent corners, that's not quite what you want to be seeing in these cars. Let's quickly check up on P4. Seems like Matt's side by side with someone. I believe that is Carlos, who's just come out of the pits.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Wait,
Carlos.
was that with Matt?
That,
No, Matt, that's with the Toyota. I'm not sure who that Toyota is.
I think that is the car of Daylau.
Yes, that is Daylau in P15. He's also, well,
He's 60.
on my screen, he's in no man's land. I'm not quite sure if he's close to anyone on your screen.
Yeah, seems to be in a no man's land, and yeah, just a great P16, since you don't have Fennec up in P5. So, yeah.
Wait, so Fennec's up in P5,
Yeah.
you say? So he's ahead of Roman by how many seconds?
Ahead of Roman by, well, ahead of Xevious, who's in P6 by 7, well.
Oh, okay, so yeah, okay, he then replaces Xevious as my P5 then, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Roman going a bit deep there once again, not being a massive fan of that hairpin, but Cuckoo, yeah, just not really having the pace on these new tires.
Yeah, I definitely saw some confidence when they left the pit lane and got quite close to the back of Roman at some points. But maybe that pace has just dropped off. Maybe trying to run in a way their own race to try and potentially preserve the tires and not push too early and ruin them before the end. Because as people already should know, Cuckoo and Roman have already pitted.
That's a bit of a shame, really. I mean, we had some very close battles before the pit stops, but ever since the pit stops, pretty much, I mean, I think most of the grids had a pit stop now, if I'm not mistaken. I may be, but ever since we've seen a significant amount of pit stops, as Michael sees a significant amount of grass, the battles have kind of died down a bit.
Yeah, and well, hopefully, I mean, we definitely haven't seen RuneLink Ultimate K's, and I don't know if we've seen, Matt's definitely hasn't pitted, so the top 3 and 4, I don't think I've seen the top 5 pit. So whether they're going to pit lap 30, I'd expect them to.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty interesting if, oh, as that's another chicane miss there. That would be pretty interesting to see where those drivers who are currently ahead of Roman, as Xevious does pit now, where they will come out, because they should be able to chase down Roman and Cuckoo on fresh tires, but as long as their pace doesn't die off, it's going to be very, very difficult to close that gap.
Yeah, quite right. And yeah, we're going to be just looking at Binding. Seems to be, I mean, Binding definitely, I'm looking at some inconsistencies here where Binding is able to gain on some laps, but then as soon as he gets into the dirty air of Eddie, he just seems to potentially lose a bit of time, taking a lot of liberties in that first corner, I've got to say.
Speaking of liberties, we have Xevious right ahead of them, so he just came out of the pits and now has the liberty to enjoy plenty of clean air, so he'll be trying to make his way up to Michael in P10, a good 10 seconds up the road, as Runelink, our race leader, comes into the pits.
Ooh. Ultimate K's taking the lead of the race. Whether this potential overcut strategy can work for him, you wonder. Is he going to come out in front? I think Mats is going to also come in front of Runelink. Any other drivers are going to potentially... Oh, I think he's going... No, I thought he was going to start...
Just had a package.
Runelink, though, on cleaner... Well, better tyres now as soon as it hit lap 25. So if he was on softs or hards, I guarantee he's on the same tyre compound as he started on now, but just a better, well, yeah, I can't find my words, but definitely going to be looking at him potentially going for some overtakes if we don't see Ultimate K's or Mats make any go into the pit lane. When he's only 4 seconds behind Mats. No, is he? I think he's 12 seconds behind Mats.
No, he's only 4 seconds behind Mats on my screen.
Okay, I don't know.
Keza is actually reacting to Runelink's pit stop now, so he's going for a 1-lap overcut. We'll see if that benefits him as Daylau comes into the pits as well, not impeding the current P2 of this race. We'll see a lot of people in the pits now. Actually, Fennec is coming in as well. Keza has, I believe, just finished his stop, so we'll see where he comes out. Roman currently in the final corner.
Oh, is he going to be able to come out in front of Ultimate K's going into the first corner? They're side by side. Who's Ultimate K's though just slotting in front? I do love that pit exit, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a very, very good run on the outside of the corner as long as your tires have the grip for it, and that's given Keza just the tiny edge he needed to stay ahead of Roman. The undercut almost working there, but I don't think Roman was that far behind Keza when he pitted, so even so, the overcut's still not quite that powerful.
I would think he has mastered again, because I do recall at least.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I do recall. Roman definitely
actually going side by side into the chicane. Roman outbrakes around the outside, but
that's a look up for both cars. But Roman definitely suffering the most. He's gonna have slipstream going all the way. Ultimate K is moving to the right. Roman
already side by side. This is very early in the straight. Yeah,
potentially not getting as much of the slingshot maneuver there. Wheel to wheel. Ultimate K's braking ever so slightly later. Is Roman gonna get potentially a better run off this corner? Ooh.
Going down into turn 1, Roman looking at that inside line, but it's only a look. He almost touches going into turn 2, but now he's not got the better line coming into that corner. We've had Mats just come out of the pit lane as well. Package coming out too, so he's done his pit stop. Comes out right next to whose McLaren is that?
I think that
be a lapped car. I think.
Yeah, I think that's
Excess. Yeah, and
yeah,
Fendict is in as well.
Again? No, that was Runelink who pitted earlier. But yeah.
Yeah, Runelink pitted earlier and is now 13 seconds ahead of these guys.
What I've noticed right now is how much Cuckoo has gained on this battle for second.
I mean, this is costing Roman lots of time because Case has messed up his exit once again. Now they're going into the chicane.
Oh, he's stuck on the outside.
Roman's going to have a much better entry.
Oh, but he's stuck on the outside again. He's got to look for that run going into the last chicane. Hopefully we don't see either of them whack the wall of champions.
And this time he's pulled alongside quite a bit later, so he's got that slingshot effect. He might be able to outbrake K's on this occasion.
Yo, they're too wide again. Oh, and that's left Roman compromised, and Cuckoo almost going for that move there.
If Cuckoo had pulled that one off, that would have been the most incredible move I've ever seen in that corner. Roman having to back out of it because he still didn't have the pace to outbrake K's going into there, and then somehow Cuckoo almost sliding alongside in on the right-hand part of that corner as he just passes lap traffic there. That was very, very close.
Yeah, extremely. For a second, I did think that that lap car was actually gonna turn in on that battle there, but
it's Cuckoo in the grass.
That's gonna leave them compromised to Mats. Mats now looking for the run. Cuckoo's gonna have dirty tires. as they move down into this next corner. Yeah, you can see Matt's just all over the back, so Cuckoo's gone from hunting to being hunted by a Ferrari.
Yeah, the prancing horse looking at that very juicy Jaguar right ahead. He's
not going to make it all the way around the outside. Oh, and he has! Wow, what a move by Matt right there, making it all the way around the outside of the hairpin there. And
yeah, now he just has to survive the slipstream fest. That is the final straight. We'll see if he's able to do it.
Bit of contact!
Yeah, it's actually Cuckoo's completely missed the chicane because of that, but it seems like the suspension may well be okay as trouble comes into the pits. That was a wild battle there. I don't think we've seen anyone overtake around the outside of the hairpin so far this race, so that was a tremendous move by Mats. But then maybe taking it just a bit too far on that defense. Thankfully, both cars still able to fight. Quickly checking up on the P2 fight as well, because since both of these cars have been fighting so hard, these battles have separated.
Yeah, I mean, this was going to be potentially a 4-car battle. We know it turned into a 3-car battle at one moment, but Mats was just outside of that small little pocket.
Oh, he's actually... Oh! Wait, no, that's Cuckoo just missing the corner again.
Yeah, both cars taking a bit of liberties with track limits there. Definitely maybe having to slow down a bit.
Meanwhile, Cuckoo's teammate Binding looking for that P9 position, very close to Findick now. The... previous laps have been practically identical, so these guys have, I mean, either Binding's got more pace and he's suffering from dirty air, or they have very, very equal pace. He is looking for a move.
Yeah, I was going to say he might look for a move going into this hairpin. He thinks better of it, but without doubt, I'm going to be expecting a run into the last corner. Back looking at the battle between Roman and Ultimate K's for P2. Don't murder each other, guys. These are some high-paying points positions.
Same can be said for this battle. So Cuckoo has once again caught up to Matt. It's extremely close between these two. There's a little kiss of the wall there, but the dirty air not deterring Cuckoo one bit. Mats is not able to pull away from this one.
I mean, we've always seen Mats is always good at the start. Oh, whacking the wall a bit, but he's always good at getting that. When the first initial pieces of rubber touch the surface, he's really good at just being confident at the start. But then towards the longer he's on the same tyres, it seems the less confident he starts to feel, and the more under fire he gets as he makes a mistake going into the hairpin. That's going to leave him potentially compromised. I don't think compromised enough.
We've lost another driver, though I'm not entirely sure who. We're down to 18 racers now. It's currently still a fight going on for P2. P4, and I think the other fight may have calmed down just a little bit, so we'll stay on this one here. Roman Jar going straight into the back of K's in turn 2.
That is not going to be good. If either of those have damage, that might be a potential ticket. I know from experience, at least, that Roman might have some front wing damage, and if he does, that's not going to be good and could potentially reduce his pace enough to the point where Matt and Cuckoo could potentially turn this back into a 3-car fight, or even 4, if Roman can just stay in the slipstream and stay behind Case.
Yeah, as Roman's lost a tiny bit of time there counter-steering on exit, but it seems like Case is just not pulling away on the straights at all. I wonder if he's running more downforce than the BMW driver here, but yeah, very, very close again into the hairpin. They both kind of lock up. Roman just having to catch the car again and again, which compromises his exit. No moves going to be done into this corner as far as I'm concerned.
I definitely think this battle, if Ultimate Chaos can just keep on pushing and pushing, this battle for P2 could potentially be over, all to that one mistake of Roman whacking the back of Ultimate Chaos.
I'll tell you who else is currently looking behind a minority. That would be Michael, currently in P11, looking to get that P10 position. He's had a much slower previous lap, though. He's going down the inside of the hairpin now.
Oh, still going too wide, though. Are they going to leave each other space? It looks like they are. And Trouble's going to, of course, have the better exit since he was stuck on the outside. But Michael's going to be stuck in the slipstream all the way down this main back straight. You can see Trouble, he's moved to the right, but not far enough as Michael trying to look for that inside move. Oh! Oh, no! And he's in the Wall of Champions.
Yeah, he absolutely smacked that wall with his right rear tire. Car seems to be fine. I think in real life it'd be very, very broken there. Impressive defense by Trouble, but definitely overshot it. He went incredibly late on the brakes, tried to hold it around the outside, and just flung his car over the curb straight into the barrier.
I've got to give it to him. I think if he just ever so slightly was able to put a bit more brake pressure, he would have made it. He would have made it, and that would have been, well, 5-star defense, I would say.
We'll see if Kays is also able to provide us with some 5-star defense as they go into the final chicane. Kays getting a slightly better exit, but Roman still very much close enough to enjoy the benefits of Slipstream. Going into turn 1, Kaysa not quite looking defensive just yet.
Yeah, Roman, without a doubt, looking more confident going through this first sector. As I say that, he does seem to potentially lose the back a bit, but you can just see how much he's just pushing that, trying to push that Minardi through the corners. Oof.
I'll tell you who's absolutely loving this as well, that'd be Runling, because he's currently pulling away. He's now 17 seconds ahead of these guys, although he seems to be losing a tiny bit of time, but that's because he's in a very slow part of the track.
Look, I'm not one to say things, but if Runelink were to disconnect right now, it would be absolutely disastrous.
Although it would definitely spice up the fight for the lead. It's like if you remove Verstappen from any current F1 race. As I wonder if that was a little bit of contact there at the hairpin, but he's very, very close, close enough to get a slingshot maneuver into that final corner as well. He's gaining all the time. As Kay's going to go defensive on the inside. He probably will, but he's still on the outside for now. Roman has a look.
Oh, he's late to braking, but...
Oh, they touch!
And that is Roman into P2. I don't know if that was completely fair since those two cars were wheel by wheel. But,
to me, it looked like Kays was... I don't really know if he had any hope of keeping that position at that point. It seems like he just kind of turned in on Roman when Roman took the racing line. But if a ticket's raised, I think we'll definitely see who was in front at that point, because it was very, very close for sure.
Yeah, quite right, as I've just been told to hydrate by none other than Ned Ryder. So I'm gonna pick up this bottle. I filled it up to the brim.
Meanwhile, I'm going to pick up packaging Cuckoo. Cuckoo has definitely dropped away from mats now, giving the Ferrari driver a much needed breather, I'm sure. Kaysa is, yeah, not quite able to hold onto the back of Roman like Roman was able to hold on to the back of him, so we may actually well see Kaysa fall into the clutches of mats if this keeps going.
I mean, without a doubt, I think Roman is definitely one for a more aggressive strategy. I mean, I know I've seen, I remember his Spielberg race in round 1 where he ended up pitting 3 times. So whether that's, whether that will play into effect, maybe Kay's just trying to keep him behind. Maybe, of course, Roman being on a softer compounder tyre, and also Kay's trying to keep the longevity and going with the hard compound tyres. That's a whack into the wall.
Yeah, but at this point I'm starting to think that that wall is just made out of gummy worms, because it doesn't seem like any of the cars are suffering from a lot of damage after hitting that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just quickly going to check on the glitch drivers to make sure they're not having some ding-dong battles while I'm not looking.
It's okay,
looks
I'll
like
keep...
Ticklish is actually getting involved in some action here.
Yeah, it looks like Ticklish Pickle Wickle, to be precise.
Yes.
It has been just trailing the likes of Trouble in the Minardi. So it's,
I think they just overtook someone else. Oh, that's another very slow McLaren. I wonder if Exus has another issue.
Yeah, we can...
He definitely didn't have to let Ticklish go, or although... Wait, no, okay, yeah, on my screen, Ticklish is lapped, on your screen, he is not, so that would be a lapped car, I suppose. Roman is pitting again.
Oh, hopefully not for damage. Let's have a look at this. I mean, it's lap 36, and we saw him pit.
Something's happened at the final corner.
Hopefully not a package getting damaged. That's going to be unfortunate, especially if you get on the last corner. You're going to have to either cut the entire track to try and get back to the pit lane, or you can go in reverse.
I mean, we completely missed what happened there, but it seemed like he was crabbing very intensely, and now the car seems fine. So I'm wondering if he just somehow maybe got spun into a standstill and then just hit the throttle real hard. Not sure what's going on there, but he's very close to Cuckoo now, and they are a good 10 seconds down the road from Matt, so something definitely happened to Cuckoo at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Emil saying Cuckoo potentially looks like they have damage, so whether this is true, I hope it not to be. But that green Jaguar is definitely looks to potentially be compromised, as Cuckoo's going to try and keep it around the outside. But
it doesn't look like suspension damage, but yeah, Cuckoo very, very slow, struggling. Actually,
well,
that
I
might
think
be
it
a
is
little bit of
suspension damage. Yeah, you can see the wheel just ever so slightly
light on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was way more obvious in P-Cars 2. As that's very late on the brakes and going straight into the pits.
Yeah, of course. The braking zone is the braking zone is going to be a lot later going into the pit lane, since it is just literally ahead. It's the same as the braking zone, apart from just maybe 50 yards later.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing what kind of braking Zane Romain can find in turn 3 here as he chases down
Fennec.
Package, and I believe that's probably Fennec in between them as well.
Yes.
What position is Fennec in for you?
5th, so they're actually battling between them. So Roman
this
P6.
is 4 position, okay.
So whether Fennec can keep Roman behind in that BMW. No, yeah, in the BMW.
Currently in the fight for P3, it looks like Kay's going very deep into that hairpin once again, and Matt's kind of struggling to get that car out of the corner at any sort of decent speed. It's when the car ahead of you makes a mistake, you definitely want to try and not make a mistake yourself, and then you will be able to get that very, very sweet overtake done. But you still got time. There's 11 laps of this race to go, so no big rush just yet, as Kay's overshooting a lot of corners now.
Yeah, quite right. And Matt's you can see how much he's gained in that sector 3 and the start of sector 1 alone. Oh, I don't know if that was just on my screen, but Matt's just hit the wall of gummy bears.
Yeah,
or gummy
I was about to
worms.
say, don't worry, that is in fact the gummy wall, so his car will be absolutely fine based on what we've seen so far.
We gotta put a petition now for that to be called the gummy wall.
As seems like Roman steadily gaining tiny bits on Fennec, but yeah, this fight should probably close up in about 1 or 2 laps time, I'd hope.
Yeah.
So just looking up and down the grid, we have Cuckoo, I believe, with a lot of damage. I don't know.
Oh no! Yeah, that is a lot of
now.
damage. What has happened to Cuckoo? They're having such a good race, and it seems that they've left the pit lane and somehow ended up with more damage.
Maybe the pit crew just decided to sabotage that car. I have no idea, but that is a practically race-ending incident for Cuckoo. I mean, they're still going to get points, but that was looking like a very good finish up until just a few laps ago, so that's very, very unfortunate for the Jaguar driver. Currently now ahead of their teammate, and yeah, just into the wall of that car is uncontrollable.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Looks like Roman has actually got past Fennec.
That's unfortunate we missed that. Fennec, how dare you get overtaken off screen?
Exactly.
But something must happen, because Package is way ahead of these guys.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. While Package seems to either have made a massive gap, or Roman and Fennec must have been side by side for the entire time we weren't watching them. Or maybe even potentially had a bit of contact between them, hopefully not.
It's weird, because the lap time seemed completely normal. I mean, we have Package setting a 1:14, Roman 1:15, and Fennec, well, on my screen, setting a 0.00 lap time. As Cuckoo has found the pit lane once again.
Hopefully they can potentially recover to a better points paying position and potentially somehow make it back into the top 10, but with about 10 laps left of the race, it's going to be unlikely.
Yeah, they're coming out comfortably ahead of Delau in P14, but Kunishek in P12 is still a fair distance ahead as well. I'm not sure if there's anyone in between them on your screen. What position is Ticklish in for you?
Ticklish is also glitched for me. He is in last place.
Oh, okay, so he is definitely our mystery driver tonight. Is he P18? Is he not? Vote in the chat. We'll find out at the end of this race.
Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, though, he does look like whatever battles he has joined so far, he has been battling with. So, I mean, I would guess a person on the blue flags wouldn't battle, so I'm guessing whatever that battle is currently taking place with him and those other drivers is what position he's going to be.
Very true.
Kayser, massive!
Yeah, he's been doing that every time we go on board with these guys, though. It seems like they've got their routines of taking that penultimate corner in a very strange way. Kayser just always takes a very, very deep line there, and Mats just decides to swing out the back end and lose all his traction. So neither of them really getting an ideal exit there. Somehow, a floating pit stop hand is floating over the final corner too.
I want to. I don't think I saw that on my screen, but I definitely would have liked to. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we're gonna see it on board. Yeah, I still have it on my screen. I'm not sure if you can see it on your right.
No, no, it looks to be
Must be a gift from the game to the race director only. We'll quickly go back to this fight between Mats and Kayser, still for P2.
Matt's whacking the wall a bit. That's not going to help his time. Actually, no, I think that's my Wi-Fi. Sadly, this battle is going to be looking a bit more cursed than normal. My Wi-Fi clearly not liking these last couple laps.
For a second, I thought you were about to blame your wife, and I was like, wait, you're not married.
I can't even get any girls. I don't know what you mean.
Well, at the moment, Mats can't get P2s either, so don't feel too left out, as Kay's just being really open to an overtake, but Mats just not being able to pounce. It seems like that one corner is his big weakness tonight.
It is quite remarkable that Kays has just been able to stay in that P2 position. Even when Roman's been near him, he's been able to defend that P2 position just by using normal defensive techniques and just stay ahead even when the person behind might even be on soft or with better compound tires.
Yeah, I mean, I did praise this track for having good overtaking opportunities, but so far it seems like a lot of people are struggling to get any sort of move down into the final chicane, and we've seen very few people make a move into the hairpin too, although it does seem to be the most common overtaking spot so far.
Yeah, quite right. I think if it wasn't for that last two corners being a chicane, I would and it being, say, I don't know, something as not as single file as the chicane, without a doubt the chicane would be the most biggest opportunity for overtaking.
I think if they'd get rid of the chicane, all they could really do with that part of the track also being where actually Matt's having another look around the outside, but not having the best exits because of it. Yeah, since the pit lane entry is right there, I think all they could really realistically do is turn that into a kink, but then the braking zone into turn 1 would probably need a bit more runoff, as Matt's almost runs into the back of Kay's there.
Yeah, that was very close. My heart very much went up as soon as I saw those smoke particles come from the tires of oh, there's even more flying from binding as well.
Yeah, being spoiled with all these smoke particles. Lots of excitement tonight as Kunishek here looking for P11 in lap 43 of this race.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a lap car ahead. I think it is. It looks like the lap car of Exus. So, oh,
ooh,
that's
binding extremely deep.
Oh, they're still too wide. So, but that is very much going to leave binding compromised.
He's weaving.
Yeah, don't weave too much, otherwise that will be a penalty as he moves to the right-hand side. He's defending that position very heavily.
Oh, he's giving it up.
Yes.
I wonder if he lifted off at all, or if that was just Kunishek having a tremendous amount of straight line speed made that move look easy.
I mean, who knows? He could have got potentially, thought he might have got dirty tires going off that track, that, you know, part of the track that you're not supposed to be on, and decided this is going to end badly if I brake too late, and could potentially take out two drivers.
Very well possible, as this fight for P2 is still not over. They're both setting 114, so oh, we've just lost another driver.
No.
Not entirely sure who that was. Wait, is that? No, it has to be Eddie. Yeah, no. Eddie's out of this race.
That is going to promote most drivers then from P7 or 8 below all the way up by 1 position. That is extremely unfortunate for Eddie, and that is going to be, well, if I was Eddie, I would be extremely upset and annoyed. Bad out.
I mean, yeah, he did get very deep into this race and would have still gotten quite a few decent points, as Matt's having possibly his best exit out of that out of that hairpin in quite some time. We'll see if he can pull alongside K's. It doesn't look like he'll be able to.
Yeah, K's moving to the right, just trying to break that slipstream a bit. Of course, not weaving, otherwise that would very much be against MSR rules.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately though, Matt's teammate Eddie seemingly getting disconnected very deep into this race. He was fighting with trouble for, on my screen, what is P9. On your screen, I think that'd be something else. But it seemed like they were having a nice, good fight. Potentially an investigation into trouble nuking drivers off the server.
You've once again somehow created another conspiracy, and I've just got confirmation that Eddie Game has, yes, as we said, sadly randomly disconnected. That is extremely unfortunate, Eddie. And
yeah, we're very, very, very sorry to hear that. We did notice your disappearance as well, but hopefully a consolation will be some nice onboard footage of your teammate hunting down P2 in the final 5 laps of this race.
I thought that back marker might have potentially ruined Kaze's exit out into this next corner. Only 4 laps remaining for the leaders.
And once again, it's Exus at the back. He's, I mean, by far the most lapped car that we've seen on stream so far. He has to be struggling with a horrendous setup, because that car does not seem fast and it does not seem happy. As Cuckoo now comes into the pits again. That is, can't be a scheduled stop, surely.
Yeah, I mean, 3 laps left? No way. That has got to be for damage. Mats all of a sudden looks to potentially gained some pace. That looks to be Cuckoo. No, not Cuckoo. Binding. Letting P2 and 3 go by. Mats very much at more of a distance now, but definitely still giving the pressure. If Kaze makes another mistake somewhere.
Yeah, it's Matt's making the mistake on this occasion, so he will have absolutely no chance coming into the hairpin or the corners after it, unless Kaze has a terrible exit, but he seems to actually take the hairpin quite well on this occasion, so he will be safe down into the final turns.
Yeah, quite right. It looks to be that...
Oh, Fennec has been overtaken by Roman, and we just lost another driver, I think.
Not another one.
Not sure who that is, though.
That is unfortunate for those drivers.
Also, we're getting some confirmation here that, well, Eddie's saying he actually plugged in his controller during the pits. I wonder how he was driving before he plugged that thing in. But, yeah, apparently hard tires not doing a great job on this track. Wished he would have gone with a soft, and considering some of the pace we've seen from people who we assume to be on softs, that probably would be the right call, as Keizo locking up there in the corner that cost Vettel the victory way back when. So we'll see if Mats is able to capitalize on that in the next 2 corners.
Yeah, Mats definitely gained on Keiz through that section without doubt. But he's compromised himself going through this corner and lost all of that time.
That's the same corner 2 laps in a row. Mats is really going to have to iron that one out if he wants to take away this P2. There's only 3 laps remaining, 2 or 3 laps remaining, so he's not going to have that many more chances to take this spot. Keiz is so far making the occasional mistake, but not quite cracking enough to let Mats slip through.
It does definitely seem that Mats does have a lot more pace when it comes to Sector 1 at least. Mats definitely looking as if he has more pace. So Xavier seems to be ever so slightly gaining on the back of Fennec as well, so that might be a potential last lap overtake.
Oh, Binding coming in now, so that's both Jaguars, and at the end of the race,
they're going for fastest lap.
That might be something fuel related.
Oh, that would be extremely unfortunate if that is fuel related, because you have to refill your car. I mean, of course it's better than having to repair your car from being in a crash. But still, though, that is a pit stop that you don't want to have.
Oh, wait, is that a car without a front wing? No, okay, he does have a front wing, but for some reason, Package's last lap was a 1:24. That is 10 seconds off the pace. Roman's last lap was a 1:59. That's also significantly off the pace for Roman. I wonder if something happened to either of these two drivers.
Ooh, something that is happening.
Oh, yeah, that car is not looking good. I mean, it's looking good, it's not handling good.
Yeah, just further
we've
back
lost someone else as well. We're down to 16 people.
Just further back as well, it looks like the battle between Fennec and Davis is getting extremely close.
Oh, yes, it is, and that's Roman right ahead of them.
Fennec making a mistake. That looks like Xavier. Oh, there's contact!
What in the world was that move? Fennec just sliced into that car ahead of him. That was almost like a deliberate swipe. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't, but still, yikes.
Yeah, maybe getting on the throttle a bit too early and just getting a bit of spin.
We've lost another one, down to 15. And that all on the final lap.
Yeah, quite rightly said. It's all kicking off on this final lap, and yeah, very unfortunate.
Wait. Oh no, that was Package. Package is gone.
Package is gonna.
Let's put Roman up into P4 again.
Yeah, and Fennec moving to P5, Xavier's P6, Fennec P7.
Yeah, some very highly placed people dropping out of this race. RuneLink has in fact won, so we'll quickly go back to the fight for P2 as they're entering the final few corners now. It seems like Mats has just not been able to close that gap. It
doesn't look like there's going to be any overtake going into here unless Kays makes a serious mistake. Matt's going for a proper all the way, but it's not enough to gain. It's going to be Ultimate Kays P2 and Matt's P3. Quickly
Roman exceeding track limits there at the hairpin, so he's definitely struggling. But considering that the drivers who were actually catching him on the previous lap absolutely died just now, he should be fine, as his hands are very glitched on my screen.
I do wonder if I don't think Xavius and Fennec, that's a small battle that seems to be just happening in the background, but I don't think Xavius is going to have enough time. But it's going to be Roman P4 crossing the line, followed by Fennec in P5 and Xavius P6. Just behind, it looks like there might be a battle. No, that's a back marker behind, but Michael P8, that is binding just behind, who is taking I don't see Binding's name, weirdly.
Wait, how do we have two people in the pits on the final lap?
Those are two. I think they must have retired
after the race finished.
Yeah, I think you can retire to the pit lane after the race finishes.
That's interesting. Okay, so we still have to wait on Kunishek and probably Dale to finish as well. Though no, Dale's definitely finished. I think he's just still driving. That is Kunishek coming into the final few corners now, taking a very, very slow approach to the ending. I think he's just doing some celebratory burnouts.
I think he might have. I think he's run out of fuel. I think he ran out of fuel going through that last chicane potentially. I mean, you saw how slow he was going. If he's trying to keep momentum.
Oh. That is a very convincing theory. Roman left the session right before the results popped up.
Is that gonna? I
mean, I'm sure they're gonna give it to him, but yeah, that's definitely gonna make the screenshot a bit awkward, as there's a very interesting car doing some sort of traditional dance on your screen.
Yeah, the Jaguars are clearly after at least what happened with Cuckoo. Oh, and they're gone. But yeah,
one thing I just want to mention before we go on to the position rundown here is, I'm not sure if you saw it on your screen, but on my screen, Roman going down a straight had his hands 90 degrees turned to the left or to the right. I couldn't quite tell what direction, but his hands were in positions they should not be in.
I'm definitely gonna have to try and have a look at that later if that was on my stream. But yeah, definitely not how to drive a car. Yeah. Anyway, RuneLink coming P1 with a 1:13.3. That is also going to be the fastest lap of the race. Ultimate K is P2. Matt's with taking the P3. Fennec to P4, and I believe. No, shouldn't Roman... If I'm correct, Roman should be P4. So, I'll just read it.
Yeah, Roman finished P4.
But anyway, Fennec P4, but that's to be decided where Roman ends up if he ended up crossing the line. And and retiring. But Exevius P5, Fennec P6, Trouble P7, Sunisec P8, Cuckoo P9, and Carlos P10, Exus P11, Ticklish Pickle Wickle P12, and Wild Package P13, and Binding, who sadly...
I don't think Ticklish finished 50 laps down, though.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we'll definitely see where he ended up.
Wait, and Package got disqualified?
There's clearly some glitches that have happened.
Unless he did something insane in the pit lane, but it's definitely not anything that we saw. I mean, he may have definitely... I mean, he probably did have damage, so maybe something happened when he went into that pit lane.
Yeah, 14...
Trouble is also saying he was not, in fact, in P7. Some people left earlier, so it may be more than just Roman, and would explain why we have so few drivers on the lead lap in this race rundown, because, I mean, down to P10, 3 laps behind, there's no way that's true.
I've got to say, a good recovery from Cuckoo, who, even with a 4-stop, managed to get a P9 position. I mean, I knew it was well, I didn't know it was properly because I remember them dropping down all the way down to P15. And, well, I said they could potentially make it into the top 10. Honestly, I didn't think they'd make it, and I've got to hand it to them. They made P9 with 4 pit stops, and that is definitely a good recovery by them. Anyway, looks like
that is. I just want to mention that is indeed quite insane. However, getting news now that Ticklish finished in P14, which wow, I mean, if your real finishing position is worse than your P12 plus 50 laps, that is quite wild.
Yeah, quite right. I mean, that could be a glitch on even some other people's half, since we did see some ghosting. But for now, I mean, we can ask him, but I think first let's bring our race winner in, RuneLink.
RuneLink, welcome and congrats on that very dominant win. How'd it feel?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, felt good. Apart from the end where the brakes kind of gave up on me and I was struggling to make corners, but yeah, it was good.
Oh, so you were actually experiencing brake wear rather than tire wear?
Yeah, it's interesting because the first stint I didn't have that issue, and then the second I had to brake so early because I couldn't even make the hairpin.
Oh, you definitely managed to keep up fairly good lap times, though we did notice, I mean, you were pulling away constantly, but whenever I looked at your lap time, it seemed that you were pretty much on par with most of probably the top 5 or top 6 even, so you guys all setting very consistent 14 point so many second lap times, and I think you eventually got the fastest lap as well.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that. I'm curious to hear if the others also had brake issues, because me and Finn both had it. Very strange.
Yeah, I do recall after watching some real F1 races that some drivers do pull out of the slipstream because the brakes can overheat on this track apparently, which might explain why they seem to be wearing so much, as there's some very, very heavy braking zones along this track.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to keep that in mind for the next time.
So other than that, did you have any other challenges or overtakes or unlapping moments that stood out to you?
No, not really. Pretty uneventful race for me.
Yeah, I do have to ask.
I guess that's good. So,
what strategy when it came to pitting? What strategy were you on? Were you going for soft, or were you sticking with, say, hard tires over the event of the race?
Softs were good enough for me for 25 laps, so I just split the race in half to get the most out of it.
Yeah, we did see some other drivers as well saying they wished they'd gone for the soft strategy. So, do you think there's any tracks where the hard has been better so far, or has it always been the soft?
I think the soft has constantly been lasting longer in races than in practice sessions, meaning you can do soft, but sometimes it doesn't seem possible when you do practice. So it's a bit confusing why it's possible and not in practice.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing that we had a lot in Project Cars 2 as well, where the session would feel very different depending on if it's practice or race settings. Although it used to feel worse during race conditions, so it's interesting to hear that the tires perform better compared to practice now.
Yeah, very strange.
Well, unless Nismo has any more other questions for you, you will find out about what happened in the close battles with the people behind you, because we're going to be interviewing some others as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to watch it back. That I was looking at the deltas and I saw a lot happening. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we definitely had our fair share of 1v1s turning into 2v1s, turning into 2v2s. It was quite mental at times, but yeah, definitely think you're gonna enjoy some of the drama we caught tonight.
yeah, awesome.
yeah, I just want to say congratulations on, of course, another win. I just have to know how many wins you thinking of getting this season, because you've been dominating this entire first 3 races, except for potentially when we saw, I think it was Spielberg, where I think something happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try for all of them, of course, but you know, there's some fast people in here, so you know, even a tiny change in strategy can make all the difference. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, and I think I'd like to add as well that your qualifying's been very important, because your pace has been very, very good. But I do think as well that if you had started behind some of these other fast drivers, that it would have been quite the interesting fight. But with these good qualifying performances, it's definitely been putting your race in a pretty good position for most part.
Yeah, I always think this track is very good to get pole on, because you can just cut off turn 1 and then really claim the whole corner, and then they all have dirty air. So that's always very useful around here.
Absolutely, and the fact that there were no safety cars as well. We did see some incidents, but none, at least that we know of, involving 3 cars. So yeah, the field never really got bunched up and ended up quite spread out. It did say 50 laps for some drivers, but that was most definitely a glitch. But yeah, I believe we will be interviewing. Actually, I'll let Nismo decide who will be picking next.
Me decide? Okay, you know what? I feel we've had one teammate. Let's bring the other one in next. So let's.
All right, so see you next time, Ruling. Thanks for coming
All
on.
right, thank you guys for streaming. It's always fun to watch.
always
Glad to hear
enjoyable.
it. Hope to see you again next time.
Yeah, see ya.
Yep. Okay, so let's bring Findict in.
Is it?
Yes,
it is. It is Findict. Welcome.
Yes, hello.
So Findict, on our screens, you are P4. That may be readjusted in the end due
It's
to some
5.
people leaving the session before the results popped up. But how was that race for you?
Well, first of all, like it was P5 at the end, but like the story of how I got there is nothing short of insane, I think. Sorry if you hear that creaking. The start was like the launch was good. I had a decent first lap, and then the second lap I threw like all of it away. I dropped back to like 15th, I think was the worst I got. And after that, I struggled to get the confidence in the car back. It just felt very understeery. I think there's just a combination of the car being heavy, the tires being maybe a bit cold, or not up to temperature yet, and dirty air. I think I've severely underestimated dirty air.
Were you running hards as well?
No, I was soft the whole time.
Interesting. So the softs had trouble to get to the right temperature.
Maybe, I don't know how other people. I think other people were okay. I think it was just the setup I had. Like, it was a relatively low downforce, which was good for like straight line speed, and I think the tire wear was also a little bit less because of it. But at the start, it meant like it was a bit slidey. It was hard to get it stopped sometimes. I had again one of like a very small incident. I think was it Cooney ahead of me? Was it Jordan anyway? Like lap 2, turn 2, I was going in quite fast and I just couldn't get the car so down. I didn't take him out this time. I took myself out this time, so it's fair. Yeah, P15 from that, and after that I had 2 very nice overtakes. One on the straight, but the other one into one of the chicanes, which I thought was brilliant. And after that, I was just doing my pace, trying to be consistent, hoping for strategical victories. And in the end, I think that's where I won most positions. Did a one stop. I extended the first stint quite a bit because I felt like there was a lot of pace. So I just drove until the engine was, or like the fuel tank was empty, which I think at 28, 29 is when I went in. Yeah, after that, I kept up decently with Roman. I feel like if I didn't have the incidents at the start, I could have beaten him, which is nice to know, but not nice to not do, you know? So, you know, it was alright in the end. Like, at some point, I had to settle for P8. I think something happened ahead, so it was P7 at some point. And then, what was it? Not Kuni, his teammate.
Xevious.
Xevious, yeah, and someone else crashed.
Ooh.
Full
Fennec
position.
and Xevious.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Fennec and
That was
Xevious,
insane.
It was at the end of the race, and I had like one lap to defend it from Xevious, who got running again, but I think he may have had damage, may have not had the confidence, with decent pace, similar pace. I will say at the end of the race, for whatever reason, the second stint, the car would not stop for the hairpin. It was impossible to get it stopped correctly. May have done it like twice, but it was so difficult. I just went like so wide at some point that I went on the concrete where you literally have no grip. I think it happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely not the only one who seemed to be suffering from that. We saw Keza going deep on almost every single occasion that we were on board with Mats behind him. We saw Roman actually go onto the concrete as well, and Ruinlink complained about his brakes not working properly towards the end, so seems like braking was one of the more challenging parts of driving this car around here.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the reason is I was looking at it in practice at 50 brake ducts, 50% brake ducts on front and rear, and I noticed that they were massively overheating, so I increased it, like to 55 front and like 70 rear. And I don't think that was enough. I think that should have been even more, like 85 rear, because I was still overheating.
And do you feel like the brake ducts make like a big difference in straight line speed, or is it barely noticeable?
It's hard to say. I haven't tested it that well. I think if you increase it by 20%, you do lose a couple of kph. So yeah, I did reduce downforce a little bit, as I said earlier, just for the straight line speed. I think that served me well on one of the overtakes. Yeah, otherwise, it was a decent race. Otherwise, nothing too special for me. I was a bit lucky at the end, and I feel bad for Xevious. I feel like I've robbed him, but not because of anything I've done. But yeah, it was a decent race otherwise.
No, I definitely think that that thing that happened to Xevious there will make its way to the stewards, and yeah, as you said earlier, Eddie and I believe Package also dropping out of the race at a very late point in time from inside the top 10, so getting you a very nice recovery drive. But Nismo, do you have any more questions for our P5 finisher?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, the standings have already been updated. Thank you to Case for doing that. But you mentioned earlier with Ultimate, with you and Roman, who where you felt like you had the pace to beat him essentially. Funnily enough, you guys are tied on points going into round 4. So I do hope to see some battling between you two. Hopefully not too big, but yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing some battling next week between you and Roman.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit unlikely. I think today it was mostly because he went for a 2-stop, which I think was a lot slower. I was thinking about it ahead of the race, because you'll be able to push, you had lower fuel, and the pit lane is very short in Canada. However, I found that it's just, like, you can just extend it, and you don't have to stop twice. Like, it's not that bad. So, I found, like, yeah, that's why I went for a, yeah. That's why I went for a 1-stop in the end, and I think it serves me. Sorry, I was like distracted by chat. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can't look at chat right now. My game my setup for some reason has just decided to destroy itself. So, Martin, you're gonna have to be looking at that for me. But yeah,
I'm looking at what?
The chat, because I cannot see it.
All right, well, it's just Fennec saying, "Don't pull me in, Nismo."
Okay, that's actually really good though. Thank you.
That's good to know. It's good to know.
Be gone, Fennec.
You are missing one follower, right? So I'm gonna do you a favor because I'm sure there's someone watching that has enjoyed this race and isn't following right now. So I think that person should follow right now because I'm sure it's been a brilliant stream. I've enjoyed rewatching every single one before this. So I think hopefully you get a goal soon.
Yeah,
Loving the kind words there.
Always enjoy it. But yeah, we will hopefully see you next week. Well, actually, I don't think I'll see you next week, sadly. But well, I hope to see when Martin streams it some good racing. And
Oh gosh, am I gonna be alone?
Sadly, yes, I'm traveling to the Goodwood Festival of Speed next week. No, it isn't next week. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I'm correct. So, look at me.
Now we're jealous of you. Nice.
Yeah, you can try streaming it from inside the car during the hill climb.
If you stream it from your house, I can go on a voice call. Like I can call you and just be on the same microphone as you. But yeah, honestly,
and then just comment on what's happening at Goodwood in the middle of the race.
There's jets flying over us. Okay, but yeah, honestly, yeah, really good watching you, and well, I can't wait to watch you from Martin's PV next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What track is next time? I
Silverstone.
I don't know. Silverstone. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun as the old one as well. I need to learn that. I need to spend time on that one.
Yes, we will.
It should be good.
Yeah, see you next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and pull in. Let's see. I see a lot of people muted in their chat, so we'll pull in someone who isn't muted. Let's bring in Fennec. Well, actually, no, Fennec said he didn't want to come. Let's pull in Ticklish Picklewickle.
Okay.
Ticklish, welcome. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you on readopting your original name with much more flair. Secondly, what happened to you during the race? Because you were insanely glitched on our screens.
Yeah, thanks. I want to say just the name I did just for you, Martin. So.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I was actually. I had massive desync that entire race. I was actually pretty much just racing in mystery of how I was doing. I think most of the race on my screen, I was like 8th or 9th on the grid, but then I was told at the end by Ultimate Case that I finished 13th. So yeah, I was completely such a weird race for me, and it was just I had people, I could see people on my relative board coming from behind me, and they were blue, as in they were a lap behind. But then I also got a blue flag on the heads-up display, so I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So yeah, that was a totally weird race for me, and I was just kind of, going with the flow and hoping that it would sort itself out, and that my correct position would be on others' screens.
So did you get involved in any sort of incidents at the start, or was it a clean one for you?
Well, I did have a little mishap on the starting line. I think you might probably have caught it, maybe not. I was quite far behind in the grid. I actually did almost the same thing as my teammate did last week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not as I think I had a lot of wheel spin, but it's weird because I had pretty much the same amount of traction control as I had last week. So I don't know why I was having so little traction off the line, but yeah, I was having a lot of wheel spin, and then I touched the patch of grass on the right, and that then put me to the left of the track, and I think I hit someone actually, which yeah, I mean, if they open a ticket, I'll just take full responsibility for it. That was totally my fault. So yeah, but other than that, I wasn't involved in anything with anyone on the track, mainly due to the fact that most of the people for me was ghosted because of all the desync. And then when I did my pit stop, my pit crew didn't change my tires, so I had to go in a second time. But I had no idea how many positions on the track I had lost because I couldn't see it. So but I was told that I'd lost quite a bit of position, so that was a bit sad after the race when I got told that.
Oh yeah, that is absolutely very unfortunate to pile on to the other things that you were already suffering from in that race. Just looking at the provisional standings here, you're currently P15 in the standings. Are you looking to breaking into that top 10 towards the end of this season?
I mean, that would be nice. I'm hoping I can kind of, because I think, yeah, I was definitely struggling for pace in this race. I think my qualifying performance was way down compared to basically the rest of the grid. So I think this race I was definitely struggling for pace. I don't know how I will do, of course, in the next couple of races because I've not done any practice yet. So, but usually I'm doing quite good at like as I mentioned last week, like Spa and also Suzuka. I'm quite good at those two tracks. So I'm hoping I can get a bit of redemption on the last couple of rounds, and I'm also looking very much forward to Silverstone next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're currently only 10 points behind that top 10, so it's definitely not too big of a gap. A couple of good races, and you'll be right up there. So looking forward to see what you can do. Nismo, do you have any more questions for Ticklish Pickle Wiggle?
No, other than well, hopefully, because we might have not got them on stream, but well, if I did, because I know we were definitely watching you. Hopefully we can hopefully we see some overtakes in the highlights video as well. So, because I remember at least seeing you overtake a couple people that race. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this desync issue was a one-time thing. So hopefully I'll be able to see what the rest of the people on the grid are seeing from next week onwards.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I mean, it's not like you're that far away from the main server anyway, so internet should be doing its job, but hope to see you up there and well within the mix.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks, guys.
See you, Ticklish. Let's go ahead and bring in not Fennec, of course. We still have Xevious, Daylau, not Cuckoo because they're streaming. Have we done Findic? We have done Findic, right?
Yeah, we did Findict. I wanted to bring in Cuckoo just to destroy their movie night. To be honest, not Fennec because so it doesn't. There are two people, well, three actually, that we can. Xavier, Daylau, and Michael. I'll let you. I think. Who should we bring in? I'll let you decide on that one. Actually.
Let's go, Michael. He's the last guy on the lead lap, so I wanna hear about how he managed to do that.
Hey.
Michael, welcome. You are, if our timing screens are anything to go by, you are the final driver who managed to finish on the lead lap. Can you tell us a bit more about your race?
Yeah, hello, first of all. Sorry. The race was great. It was really great to drive. I had no contact. Just amazing. Really, the pace was good. Really one of my most enjoyable races ever.
That's
Really
great
cool.
to hear. I mean, we saw a lot of people have contact with the wall, especially, so pretty impressive to hear that you managed to keep it clean.
Yeah, this was really, really tight very often. I think I touched the wall 3 times, but luckily no damage. Just little snips, but...
Yeah, there were definitely 1 or 2 walls that pretty much everyone seemed to be touching, and it didn't really have any sort of major consequence. I think the Wall of Champions probably was the main killer wall, but it's a little difficult to see when the visual damage on these cars seemed quite limited tonight.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I saw, many guys spinning in the last corners. That was really,
Yeah, tell us a bit more about the people you fought in this race, because my memory is not one of the best, but I do think we at least caught you a couple of times.
What was the second part of the question? Sorry, can you repeat it?
No, it's just tell us a bit more about the battles you had and the people you fought with in this race.
So my start was, I was not fully aggressive. I just wait to see how it will end after the first corners, and then I saw a few people fall out or crash out. So I was immediately, I think, on 13th or 14th behind Findic. and then catching up on him. It was so fun. I can't even remember the first part of the race from my the other drivers' names, but but this was really fun to fight and nail every lap. Try to nail every lap. It was really fun.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. How are the brakes working on your car? Because we've heard from several people that they seem to be struggling, especially into the hairpin.
Yeah, right. But I was doing low 15s the first stint, the first 30 laps, and also at the end I had no big problem with the brakes. I mean, they got a little bit more temperature, a little bit faster, but it was not that bad. I could manage still good lap time, so no big issue with the brakes.
Yeah, I do just quickly have to know as well, tyre strategy wise, what were you running?
I was on hard and then on soft. 30 laps on hard and soft.
Yeah, so with some people saying that soft was the best idea. I definitely saw some people pitting later around lap 30 like yourself to try and maybe go for a lighter load. At least this is what I'm guessing. Maybe go for a lighter load when you had the soft compound tires.
Okay, so did someone 2 stops or many people?
Just checking right now. It seems like the entire top 8 did 1 stop.
Yeah. So
I think the stops behind that were mostly for damage. So.
Yeah. So yes, I wanted to do a longer first stint, and then yes, like you said, a lighter second stint. I thought about to stay out a little bit longer than half distance, because if you get refueled, the weight is higher, so you're slower. So I wanted to continue the stint long as possible. But after 30 laps, it was the end.
And did you feel like the hard tire was holding you back at all, or did it actually feel pretty decent compared to the soft as well? And before you answer that question, Nismo, I thought you said you couldn't see the chat.
I fixed it. That's why I'm talking to. I've been on tech support this entire time.
Showing the wrong car. You better apologize to Michael.
It's done. Okay. I got it eventually. In the Mercedes Red Bull. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Man, Michael, go ahead and tell us how you felt on that hard. Was it worse than the soft? Did it feel quite alright, or how did it go for you?
I have to tell you, I normally don't do the hard tire. I don't use the hard tire, even in a race. Today this was more spontaneously. I had not much practice. So, and I was trying out the soft a little bit, and then the hard. And I felt good on the hard. It's a little bit more direct. You don't have 100% the grip from the soft, but it felt a little bit more direct through the corners. Felt to me, I don't know. And so for me, it was a good tire, and the soft was also, both felt very good. Not that much of a difference, I would say, for me.
So the soft may be a bit more grippy, but the hard a little bit more consistent. Is that how it felt?
Yes, pretty much.
All right, well, that is interesting to know, especially considering that I'm sure some of the upcoming tracks will have some similar features to this one, so I'll be wondering what tires people will be picking for those. We've heard a lot of people say that the softs seem to be better all over the place, but you never know if they're going to hold on to some of the tracks with higher degradation. So yeah, looking forward to that, and looking forward to your performance in the next few races as well. Hope you can enjoy those as much as this one.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you very much for the interview.
See you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, Michael. Now let's go ahead and bring in Xevious, because we've interviewed the people behind and in front of him, so now we got to complete the sandwich.
I don't think there is one person who we haven't interviewed. I don't think we have interviewed Daylau.
Wait, you don't want to complete the Xevious sandwich?
Wait, what?
Did you not hear what I just said that we have interviewed the people right in front of and right behind Xevious, so I was going to finish the Xevious sandwich.
Alright, let's bring in Xevious then.
Hey, I have one thing to I saw the last race. Your commentary is so fun to watch. It's so cool. Really, really, I had to laugh really often. It was really fun. Like you speaking together and you doing this together, like kind of like old friends and commentators together. This was really fun to hear. It's really fun.
I definitely appreciate that. It's amazing to hear. And I
No,
mean,
really, it's really fun.
Nismo and I do go back a couple months, but of course, as fierce rivals for the most part.
Yeah.
That's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Thank you for, yeah. Thanks so much for saying that. Always appreciate it.
And also the highlight video. I enjoyed it very much. My overtaking in Monaco.
Yeah.
They didn't put it in the video.
I wonder who's gonna be. I'm gonna have see who's gonna be in the one for next week. Yeah. Yeah. See you then.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Not.
All right, now let's go ahead and finish that 3-car sandwich by bringing in Xevious.
Okay.
Xevious, welcome. We've just finished interviewing the drivers ahead and behind you. So, how was your race?
Oh, it was. I would say this was probably my cleanest and my best race that I did so far.
Really?
Yep. What was that supposed to mean?
I just sorry. I just realized
very condescending tone.
Sorry,
This
I just realized that I just remember it could have been your teammate, but towards the last laps, I remember you having a collision with Fennec, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. He went deep into the hairpin. I swooped down the inside, and then I thought I was passed, and then suddenly I was hit. But so yeah, I need to watch the replay of that.
Yeah, I mean,
that was probably the only bad moment of the race.
I mean, that is definitely good to hear that you had a very nice and clean race up until that point. I can tell you already from our perspective that incident did not seem like your fault, but we're gonna have to see if any desync was involved, because that was a very, very hefty hit that you would not expect in that on the exit of that corner, really. So yeah, very weird one indeed. But tell us a bit about your race up until that point, because it sounds like you had good fun.
Yeah, I think I managed to get one position off the start. And then after that, up until the pit stop, I guess, it was just driving in a train. It became a race of who'll make the mistake first, because otherwise couldn't really pass, because everybody was in each other's draft and everybody kept going at the same speed. But yeah, then Fennec, I think, overtook me or was in front of me, and I kind of dropped off from behind him, dropped out of the slipstream, and then Eddie came. Eddie caught up to me and made a beautiful pass into the chicane, which I hope you got on stream. And yeah, after that, there was just keep driving, keep the car on the road, and that was it basically. And I went did the pit stop. All went smoothly. I came out ahead of Eddie, which I thought was a genius strategic decision, but turned out that it was more of his mistake than mine.
And yeah, a Ferrari, that's got to be obvious.
Yeah, they put him on the wrong tires.
Yeah, actually, speaking about tires, did you go soft, or did you use the hard at any point?
Yeah, no, went soft. In all of practice, I could easily do 25, maybe 30 laps could be done on softs. But yeah, I went basically split the race in half, do 25 laps, and pit for tires and fuel, and do the final 25 laps.
And how did your brakes feel? Because I'm guessing this might have been one of the reasons why it was so difficult to overtake, is because people were constantly messing up the hairpin. Some people saying it was due to bad brakes, others probably just not having the best setup for that corner. How did that one feel for you?
Felt good, but it was mostly towards the end. But then for the last 10 laps, it was basically me pushing as much as I could, trying to catch up to Fennec. And I was in dirty air from a back marker that was in between us, so I guess that helped in messing up some of the corners. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think they were too bad. Though I guess that me running 100% brake ducts, both front and rear, helped a bit with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've heard some other people who are running 55 and 75 on the front and rear, and they seem to be struggling with temperature still. So, yeah, I mean, I personally never felt that brake ducts can slow you down that much, at least not in the racing sims that I've done so far. But as long as you can feel comfy on the brakes, I think that's the most important part that you're gonna want in your car. So that'll definitely help.
Because even on 100% going and braking for the hairpin, the brakes still went into the red.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it was a good choice to go with 100%.
And did you feel like Dirty Air was terrible, or was the slipstream
yes.
better?
I think they basically evened each other out, because you have the massive straights where you slipstream, but then you have the twisty like Sector 1 and Sector 2 where you could lose a lot of time. So yeah, there were, I would say about the same, because when I was like in slipstream running in a group, I did basically the same times as I did in clean air.
Now, looking at the standings as well, I want to ask you, what is your current goal this season? Because you are currently, according to our provisional standings here, which do take tonight's results into account, you are P9 in the standings, and you are only 8 points behind Mats in P5.
Yeah, that P5 is looking very, very tempting, so I'm hoping I could get somewhere up there.
All right, well, we're looking forward to those performances. Nismo, do you have any more questions for the Jordan driver?
Other than, yeah, I hope to see some close, right? Maybe not as close as with you and Fennec, but yeah, really good watching you race around people, and of course being raced around yourself. But hopefully next week we can see some just as good racing.
Yeah, hopefully. Though it is gonna be a bit moister than today,
Yeah.
so.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Wait, is it a wet race?
As far as I know, yes.
Oh, okay.
I bet you wish you were gonna stay, Nismo, huh?
No, I do. I really do. Damn it!
He wants to see that safety car chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we will yes, see you next week for a wet Silverstone.
Yep, hopefully. I'll see you guys.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Devious. All right, now we do have, I think, 3 available drivers left, but I'll let you have your next pick. We got Eddie, Delau, and Keza ready to go.
I think we gotta bring in Delau. So let's bring in the Toyota driver.
Welcome, Delau. Looking at the results here, I don't quite see you in there. What happened to your race?
I finished P11, if that's what you ask. And I was taken out at lap 1 at the very start, and I had to come back from the last position on the grid to P11. So yeah.
That is impressive to say the least. Did you have any significant battles on your way back up there?
I actually never seen a car on my lap the whole race. I haven't seen it, because either someone crashed ahead of me or wasn't fast enough to catch up. So yeah, I was racing with P7, which was lapping me, but it was very fun to race him, Fennec to be exact.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. At least glad to hear that your race wasn't entirely lonely. What were you gonna say, Nismo?
I just want to say, Delau, your quote-unquote biggest fan has entered the chat.
Oh my God.
Rubbers one, go one. Is
He deserves a ban. He deserves a ban. Just ban him. I know him. I know who you're talking about. You can ban him. He's just going to roast me all the time.
Oh,
whatever I
Nismo,
say.
you're
why
showing
would
the
I
wrong
ban
car,
him
by the way.
then?
Oh, what?
I
Shut
shouldn't
up,
be
dude.
showing the wrong car. I should just be showing pictures of normal cars.
Exactly, you're showing pictures of cars that do not belong to Dale.
I'm trying.
Also, congrats on your 100 followers.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's go.
I've just checked. Sadly, I've just actually checked, and if for some reason I've checked my official Twitch thing just to double check, and it's stuck at 99, which is like, huh?
I bet someone unfollowed as soon as you hit 100.
Yeah. It's probably Spee.
Good
but-
issue.
Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, hopefully,
Yeah,
it's still
I
stuck
think-
at 99. Damn it! Like, yeah, someone actually might have. But for a second there, I was probably hit 100. But
Must be a very boring person then.
yeah.
Nobody lie.
Anyway, Dale, I am curious to know. So you said you were in no man's land. Do you know how many seconds you were behind the car that was in front position-wise?
I mean, I was stuck mostly in P15 most of the race, but at the end there was a lot of carnage. So Mia binding just crashing out. So I was moving up quickly. So it was like about 30 seconds always ahead of me, but I was catching up. But like it wasn't enough. Like I was at the end like 20 seconds, maybe 15. So yeah, I was between Fennec and Exvius. I don't know if you saw them crash. But like 2 laps left. So yeah,
I didn't catch that one.
I was between them. I was always between them. So I was fast enough to keep them up. And if I wouldn't have been taken out at the start, I probably would have got P8 or better. Because I totally had the pace to battle like Fennec and Exvius, and I just race with them while being lapped, I guess.
I mean, getting taken out and only losing a net 2 or 3 positions is definitely not bad. So you had a good recovery when it came to that. Pace-wise, I think it's looking good for you for the rest of the season as well. I'm just gonna quickly check where you are in the standings. You're currently P19.
Yeah, because I didn't finish, like I haven't finished a race this season. Like on the first race I did 8 laps, on the second I did 3. So that's in total of 11 laps between 2 races.
Well,
so yeah.
You know, at least you're doing better than your teammate, which
Okay, I won't comment on that. He's not here, I'm not commenting, okay?
No,
okay?
but it's like most things. Your teammate, it might be. It's the person you learn off of, but he's always your biggest rival, I think. But me and Martin should have been on the same team when we were both driving.
No, I think... I mean, Nico is just busy. He doesn't have time to get used to the setup, because for me it's like summer vacation, so I can just, practice as much as I want, and I don't even practice that much, like maybe an hour and a half between each race. And yeah, I mean, I know the first race I got unlucky at the second race, kill issue and Monaco, and now I had to come back, which is pretty sad because totally easier points. And finally, we are back in positive points. Toyota never disappoints, baby.
Yeah.
That hundreds of millions of euros budget's finally paying off.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally. For those 2 sweet points and positive.
all I'm saying is between you only need 3 points to potentially 3 more points than McLaren next race if you want to overtake them.
I think I can do that. Like I mean, if Nico maybe frees up a bit and also do some practice, I think we can do that. I mean, the next race is wet overall, so I mean, I hate rain, but maybe there will be opportunity, because like people don't know how to be consistent. Like I noticed a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, that is always the fun thing with rain. If other people falter and you're able to be consistent, the rain is your friend. Just gotta watch out for the puddles and farm those positions. So we'll be looking forward to seeing your performance there. Nismo, do you have any more questions for Delo?
No, other than good luck for the rain race next week.
Okay, thank you. So guys, unfollow from Nismo and see you later.
That's it, you're gonna the ban hammer. Okay.
He's already run away.
Alright, I feel like we should bring in Eddie and then Kays, and then if potentially stop streaming, we might even bring them in, but
They must be watching a full movie in there.
It's like what was his name that streamed the entirety of Batman on a Kick? XQC. That's it. He's already got a warning of because he went to a different thing. I think he went to a streaming site called Kick. Anyways, let's bring Eddie in.
Oh, hello. Eddie, welcome. Unfortunately, one of our disconnects tonight, but your race up until then was looking pretty spicy. Tell us a bit more about that.
The first stint was really good. But right after I pitted, I put the hards on and it was just a nightmare. The hards were horrible and they were horrible till the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
definitely.
we
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Definitely hearing from some other drivers that they were deciding to go soft rather than hard, just from the fact that the hard tire
Yeah.
was maybe a bit worse. But yeah, apart from that though, going into the race, I don't exactly know where you started, but I know you started up.
Started 10th.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say at least within the top 10, then 10th. And yeah, getting really good start to the race. Did you ever think? Did you think you'd be climbing positions that early up in the race?
I mean, I'm always a lot conservative at the start, right? Just not to fuck up anyone race or fuck myself up. And then when the situation is a bit more stable, I start push a little bit more. And I got up like 3 or 4 positions in the 20 laps I had for my first stint. And I had some spicy overtakes.
Yeah, I wonder. Hopefully, we caught them on stream. Otherwise, that'll make my job a lot easier when selecting the highlights if they were that spicy.
I got all three overtakes in that corner.
Wait, in the hair? What corner? The hairpin.
In the last chicane.
With the last chicane. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's.
It was the first with Trouble, the second with Sirius, and the last with Finn.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, wow, that is quite an accomplishment to say the least. Yeah.
Guys, I've just come up with a theory here.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
What if the hard tires are called the hard tires? Because they're hard to drive.
Could be.
No.
Anyway, that was my input.
Especially in this race. I mean,
You always.
I realized too late it was a soft race.
Martin, we should change your name, just like Fenix's name has name is Mr. Consistent. You're now Mr. Conspiracy. Every race you've at least made, you made 2 conspiracies this race that I'm counting, and I know you've made multiple before, but yeah, I guess
Gotta
sometimes
get a new
though.
tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
No, but Eddie, in the end, you was it a internet disconnect or was it your game that crashed that ended up happening?
The game said I was disconnected, but I hadn't got any lag spike or any connection issues. So I don't know.
Do you think it might have been Steam that was temporarily down for you?
Could be. I don't really know what happened, to be honest.
Yeah, because I've definitely had it before as well, where my internet is completely fine. I'm in the Discord call, and then I get disconnected from the session, and then I check Steam, and Steam's like down for 5 seconds, and then it's back up again. But yeah, you're out of the race,
Yeah,
so it doesn't really matter.
Damn,
Could be
Gaben.
because it gave me the disconnection message on the top right of the screen, and I was still driving. Like, I don't know what was that, because I think if you had a connection issue, you get directly into the menu.
Well, actually, I have had it before where I also got disconnected from a session where we were just kind of messing around, and I think it was when I was testing some sort of race format with Nismo and someone else, and on my screen I was actually able to finish the race while disconnected. It just didn't count towards the server.
Oh, coincidentally, you've just reminded me of that. Coincidentally, that was actually at Montreal.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
This track
So,
is just cursed.
honest, yeah. Another conspiracy. But yeah, very unfortunate race.
Yeah,
though.
it was very frustrating because I was frustrated for the race because the hards were horrible, and then this happened.
I mean,
So-
next race you won't actually have to worry about the hards too much since it is gonna be in the wet. So how much are you looking forward to that?
Absolutely not. Because I won't be able to practice in any possible way. So it will be a surprise.
Well,
What if you
we
start
do-
practicing now? Like, don't sleep tonight. Just a whole night of practice.
I mean, I don't have Silverstone, so
Oh
it would be
that's
hard
the reason.
to
Well,
practice.
we do have the server. Remember, so if someone ever joins that, who has the DLC, you can actually join. So yeah,
Hopefully, if I have time to do that.
yeah, of course, yeah. Some people have lives. I forgot. I'm kidding. But yeah, yeah.
Also, Nismo, you're
Unfortunately,
showing the wrong car again.
I changed it for 1 second. Okay. But yeah, unfortunate race today. But hopefully next week we can have a more fortunate race.
Though, Eddie, before we let you go, I do have one more question for you. I did see a lot of people counter steering to get good exits out of the corners. Were you able to do that on your pad, or did you just try and avoid any kind of oversteer?
I was trying to avoid any kind of a steer, to be honest, because I was going out of the corners very gently, just not to have the traction control kicking in or the or on just the oversteer kicking in. That's why sometimes I was a bit slower than other times, but I think it was better for me
To be slower in the exits.
Just to be gentle on the throttle and go away without counter steering or.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got to be very difficult to drive these very, very fast high downforce cars with that pinpoint precision on the pad. We've seen you do it in some other cars, but in this kind of thing, especially on this track, it has to be quite a challenge.
Yeah, it was, especially on the faster corners.
Well, definitely hope to see you not die in the puddles next week.
That will be very hard.
Oh no, he said the word is hard.
Yeah, we see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
See you, Eddie.
See ya.
Now watch him go into the pits next week for wet tires, and they give him hards instead.
Okay, as far as I can see, there is one person left. So should we bring in Mr. Cheese himself?
Let's go ahead and bring in that moisty cheese ball. Welcome, Mr. Cheese. That was a hard-fought P2. You didn't end up cracking under pressure. Congrats. How'd it feel?
Hello. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Actually, it's my third consecutive P2 now.
And it's translating in your results too. You're currently P2 in the standings as well.
Yeah, frankly, like pure pace-wise, I have no right in being there. There's like, I think at least 3 people in this league that are noticeably faster than I am, and namely, like, of course, Runelink, but I also think like pure pace-wise, and I guess you saw it in the race, Mats and Roman as well. But
so, what do you think's been costing them so far this season?
I mean, Roman for sure, the Monaco disaster on the start. I think this race, I mean, I kind of earned DP2 a bit more in the terms of that I actually qualified in that position as well. And also, weirdly enough, like Roman did a 2-stop. I think if he did a 1-stop, which I think was easily possible this time around, he would have finished ahead of me because he overtook me. And yeah, And I don't know, like, yeah, Mats was unlucky in Monaco as well with his like black screen freeze, whatever, which caused him to retire. But yeah, and also yeah, I think here in qualifying I deserved it. And yeah, passing is not easy, and I didn't crack under pressure, so.
Yeah, and one thing I do find strange. So you say Roman pitted twice. Are you entirely sure that that was for strategy? Because he did seem to pit fairly soon after his first pit stop.
Really? I think he pitted also really early, like I think roughly lap 20 or something, and then the next one could have been what, like 36, 38? So
Yeah, I think he pitted around lap 15, 17, around there. And then his next pit stop, I believe, was around lap 30, 35.
Yeah, so it looks like a strategy, right? You know, if you maybe that also explains why he had so much more pace than I did, because the fuel really affects these cars.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have seen Roman do an extra pit stop before, where I think one pit stop fewer might have been the way to go. It seems like he's definitely one to want to drive with fresher tires, and I'm guessing. I mean, I think in real life it might be more beneficial sometimes. It's just in the game the tires don't really drop off as much as they might do in real life, so he may just be trying to put the extra bit of sim in the game. But how did you feel fighting Mats for what felt like half the race almost?
Yeah, I don't know. It was all right. I feel like the only real possibility you have for an overtake is either into the back, like after the back straight, or if you get a really good exit or compromise the exit of the defender in after the chicane on the main straight, so to say. And I knew if I like planted my car on the apex, there was a low possibility for him to get around if I don't do a mistake. And yeah, I think I held that. So yeah, I don't know. With the slipstream, it was always a bit of a threat on the back straight, but I feel like I had a bit of better like exit usually on the hairpin. So
yeah, we noticed you went quite deep pretty often into that corner, and Mats did a bit of the opposite. He took a very tight line and then lost the rear end on exit most of the time. He did get pretty close to overtaking you on 2 or 3 occasions, but a bit more about going deep into that corner. Was that just you struggling with the brakes, or was that a deliberate line?
I think both, to be honest. I think I did a bit of a different line, mainly because I had a bit of a different aero balance that was slightly more understeery than the ones on the time trial, which I think is the basis for most of the setups on the grid. So I kind of couldn't rotate towards the end of the hairpin as much as somebody with like a more oversteery aero balance. But also like that was really like, I guess, one of my only mistakes when in a battle here, that I sometimes went a tiny bit deep on the hairpin. But yeah, as long as you know I can get the car rotated and have the car pointing pretty much straight when I hit the throttle, I think my exit was still pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I mean, we saw a decent amount of people going wide, and usually when they went wide, they would have a bit more exit speed, though sometimes it also means that the driver with a bit of a slower exit has more of an opportunity to slipstream, well, to slingshot past with the slipstream.
Yeah.
Because we did see a few people as well that were really close on exit and then pulled out of the slipstream way too early and were not able to make the move stick. So
Yeah, I actually also shortened my gearings like very slightly on the 7th gear, so I think that also was beneficial. I probably wouldn't have get like as much of an advantage in slip when I was in slipstream myself, but I think it also helped that I reached like 2-3 kph more than other people without a slipstream. So I guess that also helped in defending those positions.
yeah, I'm sure it did, because I mean, once you get to the end of that back straight, you're talking about very, very fine margins, and even if they get side by side, it's very unlikely that you manage to get an overtake done, as we saw a couple people turn in on each other, and I'm sure generate a few tickets in the process as well. Can you tell us a bit more about your tire strategy? Did you go soft, or what did you do?
I did go soft. I feel like in practice the tire wear was already a lot better than in Monaco, and actually, like when I pitted in lap 26, I actually didn't have more fuel, so I had to pit that lap. But the crew chief said a lap before that my tires would still be good for another 15 laps, and I had easily like, I don't know, 40% left, I think, on my worst tire.
Nice.
So yeah, for me, tire wear really wasn't an issue. That's also why I was so surprised to see, especially Roman pit twice.
Yeah, well, honestly, I really thought you were on hards considering how late you pitted compared to everyone else. I fully thought you were on hard tyres to begin with and then dropped onto softs because I remember you pitting around like lap 30.
No, I think it was 26.
26,
sure
sorry.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a halfway point, but yeah, 1 lap later than Findic though. Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Really good defense though, defending from K's and no, not from Matt and Roman.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah,
Maybe the real opponent was our inner selves the whole time.
I mean, with this track and how many mistakes we saw people doing, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, next race isn't going to be as grippy. Of course, you know it's going to be a raining Silverstone. How much are you looking forward to that? A moist Silverstone, sorry.
To be honest, I didn't really practice it yet, so I couldn't really tell you much about it. But usually, if you remember looking back at our past leagues, I'm decent in the wet races. So yeah, that's kind of my only hope in this title fight, because I'm not on the pace that Red Rune Link is, but I hope that I maybe have an advantage in the wet race. But I've never seen Rune Link in a wet race before, so that's going to be interesting, and also how the other guys will do. I think I think there can be a lot of surprises, but yeah, we simply don't know yet. So I'm excited for it, definitely.
Yeah, well,
All right, well, we are too. One more question I was going to ask you, but I forgot, so I'll hand you back to Nismo.
Like oh, you've really put me on the spot now.
Maybe a nice trivial information. Actually, one of the main drivers that didn't show up in the race yet actually just left the server without notifying us. So Tomba is now actually replacing Small Snake Max in the number 23 Frost Acer as a full-time driver. So yeah, he's gonna be with us for the rest of the league.
That's someone go, but I bet Tomba Hawks is very much happy to now have a permanent place. Something that I did just remember is I believe this coming Tuesday is going to be the time trial event. So if people want to sweat as much as they want and make me angry when I don't actually hold the record for a single day, please join that. That will be opening tomorrow, so that will just be 5 different tracks over 10 weeks. I'm guessing 1 every 2 weeks, so you can properly master the track and get used to it. And yeah, hopefully people will sign up and join that little fun thing after maybe sweating from the league.
Yeah.
Have you remembered what you're going to say, Martin, or?
Unfortunately, it has slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for the.
Oh, wait, no, actually, I just got it back. So, Case, do you think this track will have been one of your best on the calendar, or do you think there will be an even better circuit for you on the remaining tracks?
Tough to say. To be honest, like, I did like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 laps on like last week, and actually Cuckoo was on the server as well and smoked me by like over a second on race pace. And then I did like a half an hour today with like Fennec and Trouble, and then just in the practice session. I think my race pace in the end was good, but I didn't expect it at all. I think just by how the race went, that I actually like got that P2 on merit without being influenced that much on like DNFs from other drivers. I guess on paper it's definitely my best race so far, but it's tough, For the wet races, it could be either way. I could maybe have a slight advantage over the other drivers, maybe not. But yeah, as I said, like on the first question, there's like at least 3 drivers that are faster than me. So I think just by pure pace, P4 is actually the best I can and reach usually. And just it's just crazy that I have been P2 every race so far. And yeah, therefore I don't dare to say that another track will be better than that. So if I can keep that P2 streak up somehow, that would be, just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely steal Fennec's name then of Mr. Consistent if you're going to be hitting P2s every race. But yeah, good to see you scoring high points, and hopefully you can potentially get a winner next week. So
yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, we will see you hopefully next week then.
Yeah, see you.
Cheers.
Okay, I think that is everyone. So yeah, that is can actually get the end slide. Yeah, that is gonna be the end of stream. No safety car this week, so whoever voted yes, because I saw at least one person vote yes, jokes on you. I'm kidding.
That was me.
Even better. But yeah, quite a race this evening. While interviewing the drivers, I cannot lie, but I felt like from the way they were describing it as well, it was giving ever so like Monaco vibes, where people are saying it was hard to overtake, yet the track doesn't very much feel like it. But yeah, quite a good race today. Some collisions here and there, but no safety car. And yeah, we will see you guys. Well, you'll see Martin at least if you want to check out his account. He'll be streaming on his account at, I'm guessing, wmdrmartin.twitch.tv.
Yes, I believe that should be the link.
I'll see if I can try and host it. If you can't find his channel next week, I can see if I can host it on mine, so that if you click on my channel, you'll go to his. But you will, of course, always post it in the Discord. And I will hopefully see you guys next. See Martin next week for Silverstone. So until then, goodbye everyone. It's been a great stream, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys. Good night.